please stop.
Take a moment here and before.
Please.
Oh, that's right.
Alrighty, we are live, everybody. Don't be racist and put your phones on airplane mode.
Wait.
I can only do one of those things. You have to pick.
I can either put my
this the
phone
first
on
Tuesday
airplane
of the
mode, or
month,
I can
or-
keep my opinions about Whitey to myself.
It is the first Tuesday.
Well, I can't be moved, sorry.
What?
First Tuesday of the month. No, it is.
No.
It's racist day.
First Tuesday of the month.
It's
racist
Super
day.
Tuesday, everybody. You know what that means?
Get super racist.
Well,
Voter suppression for the masses. That was a knowing groan. I'm sorry, Adam. Alright, I'm gonna go see myself out the door. Goodbye. Good luck.
we are here to be a bastion of entertainment and levity from the woes of this world.
First.
Deer zombies.
That'd be horrifying.
On
Because deer already make a horrifying noise.
They really do. Like if they didn't
And most
taste
people,
so delicious, I
and
would
most
be
people,
actively
most people don't know that they make a noise
Oh yeah.
because you don't hear it, but they do, and it's horrifying.
Rabbits make horrifying noises.
You ever hear the Louis C.K. bit about deer?
Deer, yeah.
That came out after my motorcycle accident by being hit by a deer, and it was like my favorite skit for like 2 or 3 years after that point. Because it was like I was just so mad about deer in general, especially since like you can't hunt them where I live because there's too many people. So they just like they're basically like large rabbits that litter the roadways. So
You were on a motorcycle? And you hit
yes, no, it hit me.
Ah.
You know, Halloween weekend, just ride my motorcycle home from my friend's house.
Deer comes out of the woods with a boxing glove, and BAM!
No, it was like that's not too far off. It was just standing on the side of the road, and I was like, oh, it's on the far side of the road from me. I'm fine. Let's
Nope.
just keep going.
Nope, they will.
And it was like, oh, fuck, a motorcycle!
Yeah.
And they just like Supermaned at me, and then knocked
They
me right
panic,
into a
and
ditch.
their go-to is run straight into it.
Yeah. I even did the thing, like, they teach you, like, when there's dogs on the side of the road, they will try to chase you, so you have to slow down and speed up real fast to throw off their timing, so they don't hit you. So I was like, oh, this is a deer with, like, real antlers, like,
Yeah.
like, it would have been a good buck if you could hunt it, but, like, it was just not okay. And I was so worried about, like, the bike. My first thought when I was, like, sitting up in the ditch was, like, I fucking hope I killed it, and then I got up and I watched it run into the darkness. So, like, I didn't even kill it. It just knocked me off the motorcycle into the ditch.
Just giving you the finger.
That I just fixed a month
Jumped
prior from another accident on that same motorcycle. And, yeah.
So
Do
what we
you
learned today is
still-
Jason shouldn't drive a motorcycle.
That was my second full-time motorcycle. I put, like, 8,000 miles on that one and I traded it out. No, actually, I sold it on the spot because
To the
I was
deer.
tired of it.
Sold it on the spot to the deer.
And I bought, like, I've had, like, 5 more since then.
I briefly looked into getting a motorcycle because I do so little driving around.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be cheap. And then I found out that 2 dudes who I graduated high school with both died in motorcycle accidents, and the dude who I played D&D with in my original group, who was essentially paralyzed from the neck down, that was also a motorcycle accident.
Oh.
I was like, cool, they're death traps, and I guess I won't get one.
All that means is that your insurance block is probably expensive because people keep killing themselves and or injuring themselves on motorcycles in your age group.
What is happening?
That is a stink bug
bug?
again.
You're also in the higher threat range bracket of insurance anyway. Doesn't matter car, motorcycle, etc.
Oh yeah.
It's like not until like 32 or something that guys start getting into.
I'm less concerned about my insurance costs and more concerned about getting pancaked by a SUV.
That is a distinct risk.
Or a deer.
Or a deer.
Yeah.
Once I reached the age where I could rent cars, there was nothing else to look forward to, and it's I learned that they're wrong.
There you go. I like how Jason's like, don't be ridiculous, my 2
So-
wrecked motorcycles aside.
It was the same.
Got
First
taken
off,
out by a
first off,
deer.
it was 1 wrecked motorcycle twice, not 2 different wrecked motorcycles.
That still counts.
Yeah, the first one was like.
So, what's the name? Deer Magnet.
Welcome to Tabletop Legends 2 Wrecked Motorcycles edition. Thank you for joining us. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
That's the name of the bar Jason's gonna open.
2 Wrecked Motorcycles.
And he'll have like.
If I could buy back the wrecked pieces of my old bike, I would put it like on the wall. I would happily do that.
Alright, I'm gonna need you to not
Do it in the
fuss
Portals
my
way.
plugs.
One half sticking out one way, one half sticking out the other.
Ooh, deer head in the middle.
Yes. So, it's game time. Thank you for joining us tonight here on Proficiency Bonus. If you have not done so already, please be sure to subscribe and follow along Proficiency Bonus for not only our D&D content here every Tuesday, but all sorts of other content every single day of the week. Thank you to our sponsors, Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, the Twitch affiliate programs, as well as Marble Moon Studios, the 8th House, and our best friends over at... ! Little Dragon in the chat, Little Dragon Corp, purveyors of fine dice and tabletop gaming needs. If you would like to, at any time in the chat during tonight's episode, as I just did, type !Little Dragon, you'll be provided with a link to their website where you can go and buy stuff and enter code PROBONUS for a 10% discount on your order. So please do that. Show them some support. It helps out the channel here, and we greatly appreciate it and/or desperately need it.
We need your validation.
That's right. We need
For
your
more
validation.
motorcycles, to buy more motorcycles.
Yep, and Jason has to buy more motorcycles.
I actually have it at my girlfriend's parents' house. It just needs to work now.
All right. Well, join us in a few weeks when Jason
Kills another joke.
Yep.
Don't worry, I got a shovel.
So, we rejoin the party tonight as they have finally reached the fabled Scarred Lands. After helping the people of the village of Malat Ka with a little bit of a were-tiger problem, they got a guide to show them to the area known by the people of the Malat Ka as the Scarred Lands, which thus far has presented itself as a real spoopy-looking mouth of a valley with a bunch of weird sort of pseudo-dead plant life. These fauna, they saw a bird that was like, seemed to be made out of like pure, almost like carbon, as if somebody had mashed a bunch of birds together. The same they saw of a snake that looked very similar. And as they headed down this narrow valley into this gorge, they have come to essentially a dead end above ground that then continues below ground in this very deep, dark crevasse. Fidget, using a bit of divination magic, sent an arcane sensor down lower to get a look, descending a few hundred feet into this crevasse, and basically was able to give the party forewarning as something came up from the depths, woof, lightning fast in the other direction past his sensor. And we rejoin you guys tonight as you roll initiative as this hulking, vaguely canine, vaguely ursine beast with the sort of the skull head of a dog or a wolf, these two large, massive, broad shoulders with these muscular forearms tapering off into what appears to be like a smashed and sort of decrepit set of hind legs, which it just drags along behind it. So it came crawling out of this crevasse in the ground. You guys, with Fidget's warning, everybody was able to like scramble back and prepare themselves. And we start now as it is looking at you and you were looking at it.
You can tell it's looking at us.
The empty eye sockets are like doing this at you.
As in, it can definitely see us.
It seems like it can see you.
But what if we didn't move?
You can test the theory that like a T-Rex, its vision is based on motion. And you can see what happens if you guys stand still for a few rounds.
Oh no! What's that, boy? Fidget got thrown down the well?
Alrighty.
Did we roll initiative?
I think we're
Or
rolling
about
initiative.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay.
So does the Jim's magic coin that Fidget was going to cast do anything?
We'll find out.
Who has the golden D20?
Walter
Oh.
for the Dungeons and Dragons ska band from last week.
Oh, right.
I'm still sorry about that.
No, you're not.
So, what if it got a 2 on its initiative?
Okay.
Dope.
Let's see what it would have gotten. It would have gotten a crit on its initiative.
Good.
Excellent.
Okay.
Can you start from the lowest numbers up? Because I'll start there.
Sure. What do you got?
6.
6. Walter.
10.
10. Nula.
I have a 9.
14.
Also a 14.
9. Brom.
Wow.
Wow, we would have been wrecked. Thanks, Fidget.
Avar and Fidget. I've got everybody, and I have Dog at the bottom with a 2. Alrighty. So go ahead and let's move your minis, because you guys did have a chance to kind of maneuver yourself. Nula and Fidget should be right by the opening to this sort of crevasse area here, which we'll call, based on the way the map looks, let's call the front of the card there is like the opening.
Okay,
So like arrange yourselves going back towards the camera. So you guys are like right
we're
up
the
at it.
closest.
I believe Alar moved 30 feet back,
Yeah, Walter
and
also moved.
Walter and Brom
Did we dash away? I don't
dashed.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys are 60.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Alright, we bitched out, so we'll go get help. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay, good luck, bye.
35, 40, 45, 50, 55. That's close enough.
Here's a fun question. What did I do with the card that has
I
Dog's stat blots on it?
It's
I
only got
guess
6 HP, so that's all you need to know.
No, it's not that one. Thankfully.
I'm pretty sure I have Morgan out. I believe that we were
Yes, because she
Yeah,
was
because-
flying above.
right, and I was asking if the familiars were seeming affected by the area. She is presently out.
We could really peace out and I can just dimension door this half an hour. Okay, bye!
Well, now I'm out of here.
Good luck! See you later!
Scarland and 450 feet that way. We can go 500 feet. We are going 500 feet.
Bye.
Well,
So I
that's
got
unfortunate.
I got sponges.
What?
I don't know. I saw it at Wawa. And I keep seeing them at Wawa, and I can't bring them home. So I want
I had them one time. They're
sponge.
it's essentially like
It's like a snow globe. No.
it's like a snowball on a like a cookie. It's essentially it.
How did I possibly lose that card?
Did you mean
Is it
this
in
card? I don't have.
That would have been very impressive.
That would be
Would have been very impressive.
small fire. It cut to a small fire in the backyard.
Did it get dogged?
I hope not. I had it 1 minute ago.
Was it a stat block card?
Please stand by.
Was that Monty Python? The end of the Holy Grail. They had like that annoying music.
We're gonna get copyrighted. Sorry, I can't sing anymore.
Oh, also, they kept having the credits where they'd stop the credits and go, the company that was in charge of doing the credits for us has been sacked. We now have a alternate company.
Which is funny once, and then when you rewatch that movie, you go, "Oh God!" You just fast forward through it.
There's
Found it. Prepare yourselves. All
This
right.
monster has just been staring us in the face, going like, "I don't know where my stat block is. Hold on."
As soon as I figure out how hard I can hit, you better be ready. Actually, it climbs out. Besides the scraping and scrabbling of its massive claws, pulling itself up out of the rocky crevasse there, the creature itself does not make. It doesn't seem to be producing any noise. If you remember from last time, it has this strange sort of almost optical illusion effect as you try to focus on it that you're having trouble deciding if it's 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional. And there's this weird black, almost like static surrounding its whole form. So it climbs out and it looks at you, and then it tenses, preparing to make a leap, and everybody basically springs into action, which makes Alar and Fidget the first to react.
I'm gonna run away.
Okay. And which way did you throw that coin?
This way.
Okay.
This away.
If I see its face following the coin, I remain invisible and will hold my action.
Okay.
If it seems to be staring straight ahead, then I will.
So Fidget basically throws it. Now you do kind of have stone wall not that far to the side, so it probably lands, it plinks off the rock wall and lands kind of here-ish.
Mm-hmm.
You do see as Fidget throws it and then backs away, the skull head goes in the direction of the coin.
All right, holding my action then.
I will ready an action to Ray of Frost?
Okay.
If it is still aggressive. Concentration. I can still concentrate on that arcane eye thing until I get punched. Something like that.
If you get hit, you'll have to make a save to maintain concentration, or until you cast another concentration spell.
Alright, well, we're going to be trying to hang on to that one.
Okay. Is it a bonus action to continue moving it? You can keep
I'm
sending
not
it down
going to
if you
continue
want.
trying
Okay.
to move it, because I imagine it is disorienting enough.
Sure. Fair enough. Fair point. Okay. So that's you guys. You guys hold your turn. Nula, what are you doing?
I would like to hold my action to attack it if it comes at us and
Okay.
not towards the coin.
Alrighty. Bron.
I'm going to. I think I might have to move up. No, range is 60 feet. I'm going to attempt to cast Distant Whispers, so it has to make a Wisdom saving throw. I'm going to cast it at 3rd level.
It gets a 10.
So it fails. Let's do some actions.
Psychic fireball.
25 points of damage.
25? you said?
Psychic damage, yeah. Because I cast it at 3rd level.
Gotcha. Alrighty, and I believe that also gives it... What's this crap?
It has to move away.
Has to move...
As far away from me as you get.
Back down the hole.
Well, it doesn't move into dangerous territory, so I don't know if the hole counts as dangerous territory.
It lives there, so...
Yeah, but it backs up into a hole and falls
It
down.
just creeps down, slowly puts a sewer grate over itself.
Yeah. Well, never mind.
No solicitors.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already kind of as far away from you as you can get without going back down the hole.
It's the spell specifically states it will not move into a pit.
Oh.
Oh, well, there we are then.
Well then.
Alrighty.
Even if it's its home.
So it uses its reaction, and it burns its reaction, we'll say, but it can't actually move anywhere because it cannot back up any further than where it is. But its reaction is burned, at least for this round.
Interesting.
Alrighty, Walter.
I'm gonna shoot 27 times in the chest.
Go for it.
We are going to immediately burn the nat 20.
Cool.
And then roll my second Eldritch Blast die for a 24.
Both will hit.
I'm going to shoot it. And are we considered an auto crit or just an auto hit?
What's that?
For the golden d20, if I use it for a 2 hit, is it just a crit? Is it a crit or is it a...
I'm considering it a hit, a crit.
Okay.
Yeah. Same as if you'd rolled a nat 20.
Okay. So it's going to go 20 feet that way, which hopefully will knock it back into the hole.
Okay.
And it takes many damages.
That many.
No, God, no. 12 damages. 12 force damage. And it goes 20 feet back.
All right.
Assuming I actually managed to hit this ethereal thing that I can't quite see.
You definitely hit it. Both of your Eldritch Blasts strike into it. And it, like, you hear the front, like, claws go, like, across the stone. Its useless back legs just sort of, like, drag along the ground. And the back half of it, like, goes over the edge of the pit. But as it falls down, it basically just, like... you see just the two, like, arms still holding it from falling.
Can I use Morgan to go, like, peck at the fingers? I'm just kidding. That's all I'm going to do with my...
All right.
my turn.
Then it is its turn.
Somebody else can...
At which point it... hauls itself back up out of the pit there, and is going to take a swing at Nula with one of its massive 4 claws.
Do I get
think-
to attack it too?
Yeah.
everybody's
I'd
got
say
their
all your
held
held
actions
actions go off.
Ooh.
I would like to attack it with my warhammer and a smite.
Okay.
Excuse me, I would just kind of like to smite if that would be possible.
14 to hit.
14 does not hit.
You don't have to smite it until you find out. If
Yeah, you don't have to burn that spell slot.
Okay. And I only get to hit it once.
No, you get to attack
You can
twice.
still swing it, yeah.
No.
Okay. So you sort of through the air as it's coming up, but that weird distortion around it is making it difficult for you to, like, focus in on exactly where it is.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Not great. 6.
Okay.
You said this was made of, it was like bone, it's a bone creature?
The head is bone. The body is, it's hard to tell. It almost looks like it's got sort of like short, pure white fur.
Okay, so my main question is, so it may not be an undead.
Hard to say. I mean, like, Skullhead is...
Yeah.
is
Because there's a few spells that don't work on undead, so I'm deciding whether I want to...
Skullhead
Let's
is you know, maybe
Skullhead
would make you
equals
think
dead.
to be undead, but you don't know. You've never heard or seen a creature like this. Go ahead.
14 necrotic.
Okay.
I am visible, and I'm moving up
All right.
next to Nula.
You have a ray of frost held.
Fidget's Ray of Frost goes very wide
Oh,
because
geez.
he is still holding his thing up. Just
Alrighty.
blindly.
Okay, so that's everybody there. So Nula, it was a 21 to hit you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take.
That's not your armor.
What do you mean that's not my number?
Definitely not your armor.
Did we forget to equip everything?
I mean, that's still gonna hit because I think it's 18 with my armor.
Did she have to take
I mean,
armor off for something?
it's definitely going to hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make a strength saving
18,
throw.
19, or 20 at least.
18.
Yeah.
24.
Okay. So this thing just like a freight train just hauls this huge paw up and slams it into you. Your teeth rattle in your skull, and you have to stagger step back to stay on your feet. But you manage to keep your footing and kind of like re-brace yourself against it. It reaches back the other arm, swings again, but you're able to catch that one on your shield. So he misses his second attack, which is the end of his turn, as he's not going to do anything else right now. Actually, he is going to do something else right now. He's going to... yeah, he is. After he hits you, it like cricks its like skull head, and then goes disappears. And
Oh, right.
split second later,
Right behind us.
reappears like in the middle of all of you.
No, I made my con save.
To not poop your pants. So it very quickly just goes like and reappears. You have a hard time telling based on this like weird sort of like frame skipping way of movement it has. You have a hard time telling whether it like teleported or whether it just like moved so fast that you didn't see it. It's a very unsettling experience, and suddenly the thing is behind you, just like bared down in the middle of the pack of you here. That's the end of its turn, which brings us back to the top of the order, Alar and Fidget.
All right. Moving up on it. Thank you. And casting Golden Blade. 20?
Will hit.
Yay. Um, 8 points thunder, 7 points piercing.
Okay.
Isn't there a wall there?
I don't know if there's a wall here, but I'm
Going to the wall.
And
going to find it if
I'm
there's
going
one.
to disengage.
Probably consider like
10 feet.
your border is like here. So you can get about there. And
we're
you're
gonna
like,
bonus action disengage.
okay.
Goblins get to do that. And Ray of Frost. 21.
That will hit. Ray of Frost streaks from your hand, crossing the distance, hitting the
8
creature in the
points
back
of cold damage.
for 8 points of cold damage. All right. See the this like tendril.
Speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Yep. The tendril of cold like strikes into it, splashing this kind of like frosty coating over part of the crumpled back legs on this creature. Nula, it is your turn.
And I will attack with my warhammer and better dice. So that's 26 to hit.
Yep.
And 16.
Okay.
Did they both hit?
Oh, sorry, I did 16 damage. 20. Yes. No, sorry, the 16 does not hit.
16 does not
So the
hit.
one will hit.
Okay. I need 8.
I'm going to smite this.
And I will smite this time.
Okay.
So that's 8 damage plus the smite, which
It's not a spell. It's a feature. I don't even know if it's undead.
For the purpose of the extra damage for smite, it is not undead.
fine smite
I think it's 2d8.
2d8. Where's my other d8? There it is.
Yep, 2d8 radiant damage.
8 damage.
Another 8. Oh, I would have been right with doing that 16 before. Okay. So you turn around and haul off and swing this hammer at it twice. Once it sort of like shifts its upper body and like swings that limp back set of legs away from you. But you carve into one of its elbows with your second hit. The radiant damage rupturing out from where the hammer strikes the creature in the arm. You see the one arm kind of like the elbow like curves the wrong way as you strike it, and the arm like crumples. And now it's holding its weight up on just one arm. The other one is just like dangling on the side.
And still not a sound?
Nope, it's not making any noise.
Creepy.
Alrighty, Bron, what do you got?
Okay. I'm going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Alright.
And if that works, I'm going to do something else. So that's a wisdom save again.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I do not like salmon.
What was the mark? It gets a 15.
Okay, it succeeds.
Okay.
Then in that case, I'm not going to do my plan A. I'm gonna do.
I'm going to take out plan B.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my
Maybe it's made of metal.
plan B of. Okay, I'm gonna move a little bit over there, like this way.
Okay.
Diagonally. And I'll cast Bardic Inspiration on. I don't know who wants it. Walter.
Hooray, I'm
Yeah,
expired.
just because it's probably coming at your face.
It's gonna punch me in the dick with big arms.
Big arm now. I've only got one
One
arm.
arm. All right. What's the form of your inspiration?
Don't get punched in the dick by its big arm.
I'm gonna start penalizing the amount of dice benefit that they get if you don't come up with good bardic inspirations. All right. So you do that. Walter, you have bardic inspiration,
Hooray.
and it is your turn.
What is Bardic Inspiration?
1d8.
D8 for yeah. For
D8 as a 2-hit?
Yeah, to anything but damage.
Yes.
Or saving throw.
Not for damage.
Yeah, anything but
Oh, anything but damage. Yes.
Right. No, I just need help to hit. I don't need help to...
How much dice? Okay, never mind.
Huh?
No.
All of the dice.
As many as
I'm
Will
doing-
you wait a minute? Pause. Time out. Hang on.
Turn the music off.
Turn the music off.
Recommend.
Were you just about to give him crap about how many dice he has?
This is all of my dice.
Oh.
This is 100% of all the dice I own. This is my tiny little dice hoard.
Ah, okay. No.
Yeah, you who last week had a bunch of D20s that were literal boulders.
Every 3 weeks, Becca comes in. She's like, "This is my new set of dice. They were carved from the bones of orphan,
My enemies.
yeah, orphan whale babies.
My enemies and orphans are the same thing. I have purely orphan enemies.
Elon Musk sent a secret rocket to the moon and harvested moon rocks, and they carved these dice out of them, and now they're mine. This is my new set."
As the words exited my mouth, I tried to stop them and pull them back in, and it didn't work.
That's okay. I mean, I have a literal
But that was accidental.
click clock math box.
That was at least accidental.
It was accidental. I did accidentally, I was looking at dice stuff, and I had put it in my cart and then bought something else and forgot that it was still in there. And I was like, oh, cool, I just bought a sack full of dice. But it works out fine, because now I have, dice sets I can give to people when they come and play. So anyway.
That's expected of the DM.
And timeout is over. Walter, what do you do?
The only thing I can do. No, I'll just blasting it again in the face, meets, and I'm gonna use.
Doesn't have face meat. It's got a bone face.
No, there's decidedly no face meats.
That's it. Whatever you roll doesn't hit because it has no face meats to hit.
16 hit does not hit.
16 will
correct?
not hit now.
Okay, does a 18 hit?
18 does hit.
Okay, well it's gonna go 10 feet backwards if
Alrighty.
I can, and it's gonna get a D10 to the face.
I believe it can go right into Walter then, or right into Alar, up to Alar.
Alright, it takes 2 points of
Okay.
force damage. That's an unpainted.
And as that
It's
atrophied
basically
rear just
skids into you're whoa.
Its little useless foot's flapping him in the face.
okay.
Kind of imagine as it goes backwards, the lower portion of it has folded under it, so that the back legs are now the entire essentially from what would be mid spine down to the hind legs is just crushed and is uselessly, bonelessly flapping around behind it.
chicken nuggets.
All right. So that was 2 damage already, and it is its turn. So it is going to whirl around and take a swing at Alar.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
It's only a 10 now.
Swing and a miss.
And then it disappears again.
Now, is it a movement?
Let's see.
Very important.
I was assuming it was, but
Well, it moved.
That was involuntary.
Yeah,
That is correct.
Yeah. I don't. A dimension door teleportation effect. I don't think.
I'm gonna say because I'm
enough.
reading the like description of the effect that it's using, and it specifically states it's a type of teleport.
Okay, then.
So it
Booming
does
Blade
not trigger your
go
booming
off.
blade.
Okay.
But it does appear. I don't think 30 feet gets it to Walter.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Oh, cool. All right. This.
So it blew backwards and then blew immediately forwards.
It's a
Well,
really
he
big
like
thing.
scooted it backwards, and then it went and Nightcrawler like back in front of him. Ooh, that's gonna be a 24 to hit you.
You know it just misses.
Ooh, I forgot that he got that +4 shield of being full of shit.
I have damage absorbing underwear from the sheer amount of actual feces in it.
Just fireproof underwear at this point.
You're gonna take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and I need you to make a strength save.
I am unconscious.
Are you serious?
No.
He makes that joke every time he takes damage, and somebody's always like, "What?"
So I got a 9 on my roll, which means I got an 8 on my save.
Okay, you are knocked prone as it just like
I've been squashed.
it like blinks back into existence, and it just like dead arm style throws its busted arm back with like a hurl of its shoulders, and then clubs you with it, and you just like smashed into the ground by this thing's broken like wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man arm that it has going on.
Oh no! It knows the drunken style.
Yeah.
Said 11 points.
11 points of bludgeoning damage. You are knocked prone, and basically you find yourself like on your back. This thing's like smashed leg is like on your chest, and its skull dog head like comes down inches from your face, and just like you see this sort of the jaw like opens a quarter of an inch.
Do I hear anything?
No. Well, maybe a little bit at that range. You maybe hear a little bit of the bone like sliding as the jaw opens, but like the creature itself is still not making any like audible noise. You maybe you hear like the distant like screaming of a small girl,
That's myself.
and then you realize that it's you.
Who's crying?
Somebody peed my pants, you guys. All right, so that is its turn, which brings us back to Alar and Fidget.
While he was beating me, it looked like he was crying. But the way he was standing, it looked like I was crying.
Prone but still engaged?
In terms of sneak attack, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I'm married to this broken arm.
Swing and a miss.
Okay.
That's an 11.
You sort of come up behind it and you drive your rapier towards like the back half of it, but it's sort of like off of the mushed up back legs of the creature. It's got a surprisingly thick hide for something so strange looking. And
Loud cursing in Draconic.
Ray Frost.
Ray Frost!
17.
17 does not hit, unfortunately. Close.
Bonus action hide.
Okay. Okay.
Pew pew, never mind.
16.
All
I
right.
bet you just like dip into the crevice, just like whoop.
Nila, you are up.
Alright.
The
12.
thing up, just
Not
slow
hitting.
back
Yeah.
into the shadows.
You're just swinging. You're just swinging at the.
No.
You move up. Okay.
12.
Aha!
12 does not hit now.
That will hit, because that's a 26.
Okay. So you basically run up as you stomp up and bring your hammer back. The thing like turns Walter, the big busted arm kind of like lifts off of you as it turns away. Your first hammer comes in and it just like poof, swings that arm, blocks your hammer, but then exposes its chest as you come in for your second strike.
11.
Which does how much damage? 11 points of damage. You swing your hammer down as it comes around like this. You hit it square in the center of the sternum, and there is a solid, like, connection. And then you feel a secondary, like, give way, and your hammer, like, crushes into its chest. the head of the hammer like breaking through it. And as you pull it out, you look and it's like just this void. It almost looks like the creature is just hollow. And as it like straightens up back on this one still functioning leg, it like turns a couple of times, and then those like jerky, staticky movements continue, and it very quickly, like from this one position, like Alar, all of a sudden it's like coming around, this claws coming up towards you, and then the next moment, Walter, it's like about to come down and like chomp your neck with its canine jaws. Nula, you see it swirl around and attempt to like lunge its full body at you. It cycles through these like almost like stop motion style postures as it starts to like freak out, and then it almost seems to explode. You guys are like buffeted back by this pressure in the air, and this just sort of wash of like static goes over. It doesn't quite reach as far as you, Fidget, but it kind of washes over the rest of you, and for a moment you hear this like ringing in your ears, like, ugh. But it grows quiet.
Static, you
and
say.
It is gone. Thank you.
What the hell was that?
I guess we know why they say it's a cursed place. Does anyone have prestidigitation, please?
Nope.
No, but
Yes, but I'm concentrating on something.
Hiding?
No. My arcane eye is still active.
Any more of them down there?
I don't know.
You don't see any where it is in the shaft at this point.
How far does that go down?
It was like 100 feet.
I believe you were...
We went down 80, 90.
I believe you were at like 80 or 90 when the thing came up past you. So we'll say you're about 90 feet down the shaft at this point.
I mean, I guess we're gonna continue down and see what I can see.
Sure. And actually, you do only have to move it about another 10 feet. That it has dark vision, right? Because you have dark vision?
Yep.
Okay. So you move it about another 10 feet, and you find yourself, it comes out of this like crevasse into a sort of an open area. The area appears to be about 30 feet across, and maybe a bit like oblong, maybe like 60 feet long. It's very, very dimly lit from the light coming in up from above, and it looks to be a primarily like empty, featureless chamber. However, what the eye is able to see is like directly beneath it, where it came out of the essentially like the crevasse or this like shaft down. There is like a pile of rubble that looks a little more... it doesn't just look like a pile of crushed up rocks. It looks like the debris of something man-made that is like crushed and just crumbled on the floor here. It can also, as you sort of swivel it around the chamber, it sees to its sort of off to its left, towards the other side of the chamber, it sees one of the walls where the rest of the walls are just like natural cave wall. One of the walls of this chamber is like flat and fairly smooth, as if, the wall of like a building or a structure of some sort instead of just cave. That's what it can see in this area. And I don't know how much more you want to move it around, but that's really all there is to see down there.
I mean, I guess I can try to take a closer look at some of the rubble in the wall.
So I'll give you So I did some sort of like mini maps of the various portions of this little place as you start to go in, and as we go into like needing combat, we'll use the big map. But this is the representation of what the eye sees as it goes down.
Is this the smooth wall right here?
Right. So this is all natural cave wall. It's about 30-ish feet one way, maybe almost 60 the other. It came down like here, so it's sort of hovering in the air here. This area itself is maybe 30 to 40 feet high in some areas. The ceiling is all very uneven rock, and then like the crevasse kind of comes up, up that way from where you brought it down, and then this wall is clearly not natural.
Great. I mean, I guess I'm gonna just try to send it along the outskirts and see if there's anything else exciting to see.
Sure.
But
You can have it make you can make a perception check through it, I suppose.
15.
Okay. You do not get the impression that there is anything of any interest to find like along the outskirts here. This is worth a little bit of examination probably, and this certainly is, as you get up to it, you see that it is definitely like smooth, but there is a heavy dense layer of like long settled like dust and sort of like dirt buildup on it. So to get any type of like examining of it, you would need to like go down there and kind of like scrape away at it, brush away at it.
Alright, first room looks clear. It's about 100 feet down.
All right. I pull back up the grappling hooks and rope. Anybody else got 50 feet of rope?
What an outstanding question. What you do?
Okay.
Wouldn't that be a thing if you guys got all the way down here and you only had 50 feet of rope?
I tie
I
it off.
have patches.
I have advantage on death saving throws.
Yeah.
You probably got some rope in that cloak that you got.
I'm pretty confident you
Rope's
have-
not scraps. We can try to make rope out of my scraps.
Oh, I thought one of them definitely had rope in it.
You got the cloak. You got the cloak
Pocket,
of useful
I
items.
thought definitely one of them had rope in it.
Yeah,
One of them has like a
patches on the rope.
100-foot ladder. Pretty sure.
It might.
No, I tie it off.
Easy
I
enough.
mean,
Make
there's the path
a
of
sleight of
destiny.
hand. Make a sleight of hand.
Little-
decision
little
job
did I know it was a
to find out
ladder.
what you do.
Okay.
Oh, I have
Actually,
a
a
rope.
tea set.
According to this, I have a rope.
18 plus 27.
Great, you do. Ooh, that baby's not going anywhere.
Reset it and all right. See you down there.
All right.
I start climbing down.
Alar begins to climb. What's everybody else doing?
I will,
I'll wait to make
I would
sure
like
he
to
lives.
sit on your shoulder.
Okay.
and I will start climbing down.
Okay.
What should I roll?
So begin making athletics checks as you go down.
Oh, okay.
11. God, I'm not great with athletics.
17.
Okay. Even with the 11, it takes you a while, but you're able to kind of. The shaft is not very wide in some places, so you're able to kind of like anchor yourself with the rope, but you're basically able to like plant your feet against one wall and put your back against the other in a lot of places, so you can kind of give your hands and your arms a rest as you kind of make your way down, catch your breath.
Oh, thank
It's not a particularly arduous climb down, though it is, long, and the concept of, or the potential of falling 100 feet, hitting a bunch of stuff on the way down is not, not particularly pleasant.
Having some flashbacks to that cliff face.
You make it no issue, as do you. Even carrying Fidget with a 17, you're just like down you go. You guys kind of like
Nothing? God, you guys suck.
you hear Alar calling from below. The rope has gone slack as you and you can tell that Nula has like dismounted at the bottom.
I'll go down.
All right, athletics check.
Do a front flip.
So it's 6.
Did you do a front flip? Oh no!
That'd be better if I did a front flip because I got a +3 in acrobatics.
Oh boy.
Oh.
You make it a good portion of the way down, but as you are about 40 feet from the bottom, you take a moment to try and like plant your legs against the wall to rest your arms and sort of wring out your fingers a little bit. And where you plant one of your feet, the rock crumbles a little bit and your foot goes out from under you and you fall. And it is it's rough going. You hit the wall like several times on the way down. You take 18 points of bludgeoning damage when you hit the ground. And like the wind goes out of you as you just like starfish on this hard rocky floor at the base of this. Walter up above definitely heard that. As it's just like, you just hear like...
So I'm going to pull out my magical python.
Yep.
And I'm going to pretty much just use that as a click and go foothold.
Sure. Make an athletics on the way down.
I'm gonna.
Is there any benefit to attempting to use this?
Yeah. I'm reducing the DC for you since you've used your spike.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. So what is this check here?
Athletics.
Great. That is a -1. So I got a 17 -1 is 16.
Okay. So you take it nice and slow and steady, especially after hearing Brahm bite it on the way down. You use your python to plant it into the rock, climb your way down on the rope a little bit, pull it out, plant it back in, and eventually you make it down. And all 5 of you are inside this chamber down below.
Put that back in my pocket.
I will heal Brom for 10 points of damage.
Okay, you get healed for 10. So, you are now in a darkened space which is barely illuminated by the light coming from the opening of the crevasse nearly 100 feet above. You find yourself standing on a hard but uneven stone floor in a space where the walls of the crevasse widen, making a chamber roughly 30 feet across and 60 feet long. At the base of the shaft on the wall you use to descend, there are the remnants of some sort of structure. A flattened pad with a pair of parallel rails secured into the rock about 10 feet apart. They ascend only about 15 feet or so before ending in twisted, bent stumps. On the floor in front is a... Why? Some program just opened itself on my computer.
Is a special discount today for Little Dragon.
On the floor in front of it is a pile of badly degraded metal and stone. The southeastern wall of the chamber, so just to be directionally correct, if we're saying towards me is north, this chamber is faced this way.
Okay.
The southeastern wall of the chamber is not rough, natural stone like the rest of the space, but it is smooth and even. It has an indistinct brownish color as a heavy layer of long undisturbed dust coats it. But you can see that there are slight depressions in the surface, suggesting a pattern of some sort on the wall. Near the corner there, and I do apologize, Fidget, as you should absolutely have seen this from above, and I forgot to read it to you. On the ground in the corner by that wall, there is a skeleton.
Well, there's no reason I can't still be concentrating on that, so I want to look at the skeleton.
Okay.
Way over there.
I would like to investigate the degraded pile of metal and stone.
Okay.
I'm getting ideas about the skeleton.
Cool.
I'm trying to peel Brom off the floor.
Alright, so you're helping Ron.
Do you need my shovel?
Alright, make a...
I also cured wounds
what kind of
on
check are you
myself,
looking for? You
and
want to
I'll
make
give myself
a
2 points.
medicine check to see what kind of person it was? Do you want to make a investigation check to see what they got on them?
I would like to make a medicine check to see if it was if it's still mostly intact,
Okay.
like a skeleton. Like if it just died there and was not picked apart, or if it was just if it's just a useless pile of them.
Sure.
I would like to make an investigation check.
Okay. And you're making an investigation on the pile of rubble, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. And what do you got?
28.
28?
Natural 20.
Alrighty. And how you guys doing with yours?
18.
You're making a face like you didn't roll so good.
8.
Okay.
I want to say 18, but it's not.
So Fidget, as you hover that eyeball over there, and Walter just walks behind it. You can't see that there's an invisible eyeball floating towards it.
No, I can't see that.
You head over to look at the skeleton, and you begin sort of picking at it. The skeleton is you believe the skeleton of a human.
Okay.
It is the right size. The bones are pretty badly degraded. So
But there's no like obvious tusks or like anything.
No, it is something that looks, your best guess is human. Could be a half elf. Could be an elf, though they have slightly more like angular bone structure. Your initial guess is human, but the bones are in pretty bad shape. There are like the very badly degraded, like tattered rags of clothing on it. But the bones, you sort of kind of pick at them and kick at them, are like brittle. This has been down here a long time. There's no like flesh or anything remaining anywhere on it. Fidget, you are able to determine as you're like moving the arcane sensor around, trying to like get it around Walter. You spot beneath the skeleton, there is like the strap has degraded away, but like the satchel part itself of a bag is like underneath the body.
Hey, Walter's got a bag.
It's got a bag?
Yeah,
Where?
underneath it.
As he's
Just
yelling,
shuffle bones out of the way.
Yeah. You don't mind dead things. You can get it.
Yeah, so you like shuffle a bunch of bones, and sure enough, as you sort of like, I don't want to say roll, as it just sort of like, it's just like shuffling a bunch of loose bones away from the spot. But you do uncover there is like the very worn, very cracked and dried out remains of a satchel bag.
I will carefully pick it up and bring it over to the group in the middle.
All right. So as you're doing that, Alar, you are picking through the debris by the front here, and as it's in very bad condition. It's been here for a long, long time. But from some of the like larger, more cohesive sort of pieces, you're able to kind of like sift through a little bit. You almost get the impression that, coupled with the thing on the wall behind it, this was maybe some sort of a device or a structure that was intended to like mount onto this thing on the wall, and potentially like carry people or stuff or something up and down. With that investigation check, as you sift through the ancient remains of this, potential lift of some kind, buried within that rubble, in addition to the sort of metal and the stone, you find the shattered remains of what you gauge to be a fairly large crystal of some sort that had been incorporated into this device at some point in the past. As you are kind of sifting through that, you determine like the crystal itself is really shattered beyond any like form of being able to figure out what its original shape or cut was. But in the center of that pile of like crystal rubble, you pull out a roughly egg-sized quartz, which has been cut into a rather peculiar shape and has a rune etched into it.
Arcana? 22.
It is not a rune in a language that you recognize.
Mm-mm.
Brahm?
Is it?
It is not a language that any of you speak.
Alright.
Is it written language? Is it writing?
It is a rune.
So I can read all writing, but like
You do not determine so for like arcane runage, if it is an arcane rune of a particular like spell type, you will not be able to determine what that is. It is certainly something you can try.
Okay, I will definitely give it a shot. See if I understand what's going on. Would this be an Arcana or a investigation?
You can make an arcana.
That is a 5.
The rock.
You, being that you know, with your particular ability, should be able to decipher like written language if it has like a literal translatable meaning. You are pretty safely able to determine that whatever this rune is not necessarily like a word so much as it is like a symbol of some sort of an arcane power, like a glyph representing like a spell of some sort, but it is not in a configuration that you have ever encountered before.
All right.
Where'd you find it?
In this, I think this was some sort of magical lift, which
You think maybe that's what made it work?
might be. In any case, I'm pretty sure this is magical, so
Let's hold on to it and see.
yeah, I intend to bring it back to our benefactors. They might be able to figure out what it was. Might be useful.
Maybe it's the key to that wall over there.
Well, all the more reason to take it with us. Oh, I see you found something.
Oh, yes. Satchel from that poor bastard over there.
All right.
Would you like to do the honors, since I will probably destroy whatever I touch with
All right. Investigation, or do I just open the satchel?
Let's call it a sleight of hand to see how delicately you are able to handle this very, very old and very, very fragile object.
Morgan flap at it to use a help action.
25.
Okay. You set the satchel on the ground and you kind of peel back the flap. As you do, it basically, like, the old, ruined, ancient leather, like, just cracks, and, like, the flap of the satchel just, like, comes off in your hand. As he had been, like, carrying it over and you guys transferred it and set it down, you did hear inside it the faint, like,
Oh, okay.
of some glass. And as you very carefully kind of lift it open, you see that there are indeed a number of sealed glass vials inside, as well as a single, very aged book, a tome of some sort.
What's inside?
If you take the time to open it, I can possibly try to read it. If it's
Yeah, what happens if it's another goddamn trolley weather book that unleashes a horrible monster?
It does not look, I will say it does not look nearly as old as, like, the trolley weather book, which was, like, ancient beyond civilizations.
Doesn't mean there's
This
still
looks
a
like
monster
it's
in
been down here for maybe, like, a couple of decades.
it. Journal.
Might be notes, might be a spell book, might be book of bad poetry.
Do you want me to open it up?
do you have any magical ability to like repair it first?
I don't. Fidget?
I don't fix things.
Right.
That's right. Fidget knows things. So, yes.
All right.
Good luck, everybody else.
Just in case this thing does have a risk, you all might want.
I'm way ahead of you.
Way ahead of you! The other side of the cavern.
I'm going to I'm going to go back 15 feet, and I'm going to use Mage Hand to carefully, slowly open the book. My sleight of hand is a 21.
Why would I blow a fourth level spot?
The book
That's fair.
creaks open.
My only fourth level spot. Well, it didn't explode.
Okay. I'm going to head back over, peer down at it. Is it legible?
Yes.
Oh.
The first page on the inside of the book, as you have opened it up, says, in common, this journal is the property of Hendrik Caraway.
Does that name mean anything to anybody?
Probably not.
Okay. Journal. Well, once again, very carefully.
Good. So, it does indeed seem to be a journal, the journal of an individual by the name of Hendrik Caraway. It is in poor condition, but delicately flipping through, you are able to determine that he was a relic hunter about 80 years ago. Most of the journal is it's certainly interesting to one who is interested in such things. It details his exploits around the continent, delving into ruins and following up leads and things of that nature. Certainly something worth spending a more time thoroughly reading later. As you flip sort of to the back, you find the last 2 entries in the journal are of particular relevance to your current situation. And the last 2 pages in the book are as follows.
16 Tarsec, 1012. Took a great deal of cajoling to convince some of the locals to show me where this place was. It seems it was well worth it. The doorhead is clearly of Invarian make, but whatever arcane power source undoubtedly once operated, this place has long since run dry. No matter, I have a pry bar and should be able to get through the doors with a little bit of elbow grease. I stocked up on potions of comprehensible languages in Terra Libra. This guy might be from the Order of Libri. Before venturing out, worth more their weight in gold to be able to translate any ancient Invarian on the fly. Once knew a fellow who returned with a set of texts thinking he'd be a legend among relic hunters for all time, only find out he'd come up with a bunch of river fishing books. Poor sod. I'll set camp here and venture inside in the morning.
And then he died. Oh, that's...
Well, they wouldn't take the time to write if they're dying.
Scrawled scrawled on the last page are those 3 words.
What happened here?
And it is badly stained with what might be ink.
But then he took the time to put it back in his bag.
Seems that he did.
Alright, so these...
And then he took the time to die.
Are all those potions the same color?
They do appear to be.
Okay, so these are potions of comprehend language. How many are there?
There are a total of...
72.
No. So there were 15 bottles in there. The seal on 5 of them have degraded and the liquid inside has evaporated. There are 10 still sealed potions inside his bag.
Okay.
Split them between you guys. I should be okay.
Alright,
Why don't
so...
we just put them all in the bag of holding?
No bag holding?
Yeah, right?
No, we don't.
Didn't it?
You do?
Yeah.
The wizards gave you one.
You weren't here for that one. I have the bag of holding.
You have a bag of holding and a arcane lock ability chest to put relics that you might find in.
So we want to put that stone in the chest? And then...
Yeah, we'll put that
Put everything in the bag of holding?
Maybe we should just hold on to the stone for a little bit and then...
Okay.
Alright, yeah, that's probably the best idea. Just in case we actually find a relic in here. Okay, I will hold on to one of the potions, and the rest can go in unless anybody else wants. Alright, I'm now looking at that wall, casting Mage Hand, and I'm going to have it...
Okay. Where on the wall?
This depression in the center. That's
Okay. You dust away a bunch of dirt and debris and grime, and your mage hand reveals the following. Firstly, there is the outline of what is pretty clearly a door. There is runage above the door. Do you have to do anything special, or you just
I can just read all right.
Okay.
It's
So
it's basically like a Google Glass auto-translating everything.
So you see these runes.
The babblefish.
As you were looking at them, and Walter, you understand them to read in whatever this language is, presumably Invarian. Research Outpost Nizuru.
Is Invarian a form of Elvish, or is it a language?
It's like its own sort of thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm convinced. So research outpost Nizuru.
Nizuru. Nizuru.
Sorry, I'm on the fritz. Is there research outpost?
Might explain
That's-
why everything's so screwy. They might have done something.
This could be outstanding for us.
This could?
Or it could
Or
be
it
a
could
horrible
be-
nightmare.
Yeah.
Or both.
It's gonna be a whole place filled with horrible things like we just ran
rouge
into.
on the walls around outside of the door.
Okay,
See if we can take the time to like dust everything off on
Sure.
the wall.
You got some? Oh, you're
I
looking
mean,
at
I
ready
can
to
help
do
with
something.
prestidigitation.
Okay, yeah. So prestidigitation and mage handing. About 10 minutes later, you guys have a clean wall. As the dust of undisturbed centuries is moved away from the wall, you reveal that it is made of that same strange hybrid stone metal champagne colored material as the circular walls of Niveria.
It is in Varian.
The etching on the door, or like around the door on the rest of the wall, as far as you can tell, is just like meaningless design. It's not written runes or languages. It's just like patterns and lines and indentations in the wall. There is the seam where the metal door looks like it would open, though there are no discernible handles, mechanisms, or latches. And it has that single line of text: outpost, research outpost Nizuru above the door.
Do you think Nizuru is a number or a name designation? Because I can translate it, but like I have no context for what it means.
Sure.
So as far as I know, it could be either a number or a name. But
Right.
History?
I mean, you can roll, but very unlikely.
Yeah. I got no clue.
is there any like indentations on the wall? Any like patterns that look like they would be some sort of arcane touchscreen? Anything that looks like it could be rotated? Or
nothing that you see.
pushed?
Can you see that rock? I'm just gonna walk up and just touch the rock to the wall and see if it does anything. It explodes.
A giant tiger head comes out of the wall and goes, "The Cave of Wonders." No, nothing happens. You just like clink, touch the rock to the wall. Nothing happens.
So it's a solid
It would have been really cool if that worked.
It would have been.
It is. Imagine
right?
like.
I imagine so in my head I'm imagining it like the like Chinese imperial stamp, where it's like a piece of like carved jade, and then on the bottom is like the seal for somebody. That's how I'm imagining it, except it's like quartz with like a doodle on the bottom.
Oh, the thing he's holding.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, it's more like, imagine like a cut gemstone to like a, whatever shape, princess cut, an oval cut, with like a rune etched into one of the facets of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The wall is essentially flat with like the runes carved into it, and then these like patterns etched through it, and then essentially it's like it's flat, but you can see that there's like a seam where there's like a double door like this, though there's no like handles or anything on the side, so you don't know if it's like a push or maybe like that type of thing.
You can open
All
from
right.
the inside.
I walk up to the door.
Okay.
Another dog comes up.
You knock. Nothing happens. It is a solid door. You don't hear it like, when you knock, you don't hear like echoing like inside, as if it's like. It seems like the door's probably pretty thick.
Is there like the clear seam where it opens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go attempt to pry it open because that guy thought he could pry it open.
Before he does, I want to see if there's a prime mark where he tried.
Sure, make an investigation check.
26.
You see no signs of like scuffing or damage that has been done to this door.
But it's the same kind of rock as Neferia, which is...
Mm-hmm. Not like completely impervious, you know, that like some of it has crumbled, but I mean, you know, it's this like the wall of a major city, and that's, you know, it's lasted. So you know, just because you don't see anything doesn't mean you know, he didn't. It's you know, can be assumed that maybe the pry bar was not hard enough to have like damaged this door anyway.
All right, give it a go.
Is it safe to say that my arcane eye thing has wound down?
How long does it last?
An hour.
Probably not quite.
Okay.
She's just strength check.
Probably burned. Well, you guys did. Let's say you've burned 45 minutes of it. The climbing down part having taken the longest.
All right.
So we'll give you
best
about
of luck.
15 minutes on your arcane eye left.
Just strength check.
Strength check.
This is a crit fail. This
You,
is not my day.
You like wedge the end of the crowbar into this seam, and like you pull, and you hear, but you're like, you don't manage to get enough like leverage into it, but you're pretty sure like you can do it.
Use your own crowbar.
I hand you Plan C.
17.
Which is safe. She also rolled a 1.
Pretty funny. Yeah, so you take Alar's crowbar and you like and inch by inch it like, and the doors do in fact open this way. After a considerable amount of strain, you manage to like pry enough open that you can like wedge an arm in there, and then you're able to like muscle it. Despite the fact that they're extremely like solid and heavy, the actual like mechanism with which they slide into the interior of this wall is quite smooth. So with a bit of straining, you manage to like push them apart like a foot and a half.
Are they
enough.
like trying to close on me?
Not actively.
Okay.
You didn't trip the sensor yet.
You like push them apart about a foot and a half, enough for like people to go through. You definitely feel the natural weight of them wants to like slide shut, but there's no force trying to shut them on you. Though, you know, you figure unless you like prop it with something, it probably will close behind you, and you'll have to like force it back open to get out.
One of the doors, as it gets like pretty well all the way open, I'm just gonna jam the python in to like, kind of wedge it open.
Okay, so yeah, so she's able to get it like, because she's basically limited by like the reach of her arm.
Yeah.
So she's able to get it about a foot and a half open, and you can. Does that python have the ability that it can like go into anything, or do you physically have to? Okay.
No, this is the one where you can just like wedge it in.
Yep.
And then it's just.
So you wedge that python in, and you let it go, and Nula, you can like as you like take your hand away, the one that he wedged doesn't move. You can still feel like the one that your back is to is like wants to slide. But you manage to like open enough that even if you step out when that for one door like goes back to the closed position, there's like a foot gap.
Yeah.
Where he's wedged the other door open that you guys can get in and out through this space.
Teamwork. What's the air like that's coming from there?
Same as it's been since you entered the Scarred Lands. It feels very like stale and recycled. Even down like you more expect it down here.
Mm-hmm.
Though it was like that even when you were up in the open sky as well.
I will hand Brom his crowbar back.
Okay.
I've just got a third crowbar.
Or,
Fourth?
I take it from him before he puts it away.
thank you.
I got like 10 minutes left on this, so.
Zoom it on forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you send it zooming in past Ayla. I'm gonna pull this like off to the side, but just to like give you guys the idea of the orientation. So like here's the door you came in. This is the chamber that you're walking into. So that's there. We'll just put that this way for now. Fidget, as you fly your arcane eye into this chamber. The space inside is quite dark. However, as you pass the arcane eye in, you can sort of start to make out the interior room more clearly. The space is slightly smaller than the natural chamber outside. It's roughly 30 feet to a side, and largely featureless in its dusty. It is dusty, but only slightly so. About a foot below the ceilings, 9 or so feet off the ground, there is a strip of some sort of crystalline lattice, which runs around the entire upper portion of the wall. There are 3 things that you make out with this arcane eye as you're looking around. First, there is an alcove on the south. That's the southwest wall, based on the orientation of this facility. Southwest wall, there is an alcove there, within which you can see what almost looks like a hatch or like a trap door. It's a square. You see the seam in the floor, about 10 feet by 10 feet. On the see what door is this? On the northeast wall, but there is a doorway here, which is much like the one that you passed through here, except instead of this being a double door, there is a single door here.
But it is closed.
It is closed. And then third, on the floor, there is this sort of circular feature, which encompasses most of the space in the center of the room.
Can I make anything out about the circular feature?
You can make an Arcana check.
That's not very good. 10.
That's enough. As not all that long ago, you guys made this trip down to Honorand from Niveria, starting it off by going from Niveria to, I believe it was Ald, via Niveria's hub of the Orahole spanning transit network. What you see here, as you're looking at the runage etched into this, is clearly of a different and much older and much more not necessarily simplistic, but almost almost as if it's its own evolutionary branch of this type of magic. But you can pretty easily recognize the design and the layout of this feature as the arcane formula, the string of specific runes designating to a specific set of coordinates for that spot. That is an Invarian teleportation circle.
As soon as we're entering in, Walter will be copying that into his notebook as soon as possible.
Well, you guys are still outside. Fidget is looking in with the eyeball.
Fidget is
Alright.
Screenshot.
Trapdoor, teleportation circle.
what?
Yeah. And another door in the corner. There's some crystal stuff along the top of the wall. I don't know that it's not trapped, but
Well,
it does appear to be empty.
let's go find out. I will head in.
Pull my notebook out. I'm ready.
Okay. You guys walk in and you see exactly what I described, with the exception of as soon as your physical bodies enter this room, that strip of crystalline lattice work that's around the upper portion of the walls begins to glow with a faint silvery illumination, casting the space into a very dim, like almost like emergency lighting style light, making it a little easier for you to see.
Does the teleportation circle look like it's lit up, or just like
it is not? It looks like it's etched into the ground. It is clearly inactive, but absolutely that string of runage around the outside is like the coordinates for that circle.
I much like Walter, I am making as good a copy of
Sure.
that.
So that'll probably take you guys about 30 minutes to like sit down and copy that if you want to spend the time to do that. That's absolutely fine. I'm just telling you. Your arcane eye will wear off in that time period.
That's fine.
So you're in this chamber. As they're going to be, so it's going to take them about 30 minutes to copy this. So as they're doing that, what else are you guys doing? What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna take a short rest.
You can. You absolutely have a time for a short rest while they're doing that.
I will also break out the orange slices and Capri Sun.
Okay, orange slices and Capri Sun come out.
All right. Alar is giddy as a schoolboy.
I'm gonna. Did anybody besides me get?
I got it.
All right, I'll do Song of Rest.
I got squished, but I'm currently doodling, so I don't know if I benefit from a short rest.
You will not.
Okay.
You get a 1d6.
I get 1d6.
An additional 1d6 in addition to any hit dice you spend.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So over the next 30 minutes or so, Brahm pulls out his masterwork violin and kind of just plays a sort of a quiet tune that doesn't echo much further than just this room that you guys are in. Those of you who are resting, you sort of feel yourself regain a little bit of your stamina, a little more than you would expect just for kind of sitting and catching your breath for 30 minutes. The two of you steadily work your way around this circle, and you are both successfully able to copy down a set of teleportation coordinates linking to this site.
What is the spelling of the name of the research facility?
The research facility is called
Nizuru.
Research Outpost Nizuru. Nizuru.
I am also trying to stay as far away from the teleportation circle.
Sure.
I'm in the corner.
Who likes teleportation anyway? Who would want to do it?
All right. I gave myself an item, just like a note, basically.
Sure.
Does Song of Rest also count for me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Think about how much easier it'll be to get back here to go help that werewolf. Red tiger. Were creature.
I'd rather take the cart.
See you in 2 months. After we're done, I'm gonna realize everyone's taking a short rest and just like be actively annoyed for about 10 minutes.
I'm pretty much ignoring everything. I'm just like,
Yeah, I imagine you're like hitting the candy stores. Like, this is what I've been looking for all my life.
yeah.
Back to full health.
Do you want to break into that room?
When I hear him say that, I go, "Oh, there's a door there." I head over to the door. Hey. All right, here's Plan C.
Is this tool time?
I don't think so, Tim.
Bye.
If that doesn't earn me to go to D20, I don't know what will.
Who's Tim? I knew an enchanter named Tim once.
Christ.
Wilson and Tim.
Nice.
So you are going to crowbar the door, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
14.
14. So you like, and it quite won't, but you just like, I need a little help. It's a little too much.
I will try and give you some assistance.
Are there any like obvious switches?
That's a 13.
So Alar comes in, he tries to do it, he can't get it. It like you can tell it's like almost will open, but you haven't quite mustered the oomph.
Fidget.
You can you can make the check again with advantage if he's going to assist you.
Go for it.
Or Fidget can wring his hands in a way that means he's about to do something.
2, and that's a 7.
So we at this point invoke the rule of taking 10, which is essentially where like if you roll long enough at something with no time constraint, you will eventually hit the DC necessary.
I don't let Brown go.
So yeah.
Just like nip.
It would have been a 17 to push her out of the way and open the door.
So you're like struggling, trying to get this door. Eventually, Brahm, as you kind of step back, the crowbar is like firmly wedged in the frame of the door at this point. Brahm just comes over and like throws his body into it, and the door like opens. Brahm, make a dexterity saving throw.
The crowbar was for...
I loosened it for you.
+3.
Now I'm gonna get like poisoned.
You have +3 for something?
Damn it.
Nula.
For Nula?
Assuming she believes that you are a friend.
It's a 7.
You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
Good thing I just healed
As
myself.
something dark and about human-sized comes erupting out of the door as Brahm flings it open and basically like tackles him.
Did you say 6?
You take 6 points of bludgeoning
Good,
damage.
great. The door I successfully opened is the door with the monster behind it.
So you are basically knocked prone, and there is a large, like, dark shape on top of you. So
Awesome.
initiatives, 25 to 20.
I'm not using that die anymore.
Hooray!
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, that didn't do so good either, so you're
Where's
fine.
Fidget?
He's dead.
Fidget's hiding.
19 to 15.
Wow.
14,
Did we
14
even
to
bother?
10.
14.
Okay.
Oh, we did.
5 is 10. Sorry.
10 is Brahm? Yeah. Jesus. Okay. 9 to 5.
5.
5.
7.
4.
7 is...
He said 9 to 5, sir. You are
Yeah.
next.
Wait your turn, damn it!
5 is...
So, your initiative was a 4. Give me
How
a
does
minute.
it feel to be at the bottom?
I don't think so, Tim.
Sooner or later, one must roll
I
a
can't
1.
remember.
And better initiative than a save.
Al. It was Al.
Al, yes, it wasn't Wilson himself.
So,
Wilson said it too.
Aylar, you
Wilson was the
Aylar.
neighbor. But he said it too.
This is definitely an Al and Tim situation, not an Al and Wilson situation.
Fidget, you will be the first to react as...
You rolled the highest.
Brahm is tackled as something comes hurtling out of this doorway. It is roughly the same height and build as, like, Brahm. However, it is, as far as you can tell, a creature comprised entirely of that same, like, black charcoal sort of like carbon material. And much like that bird, it looks like somebody took several individuals and mashed them into occupying the same space. It has a secondary head like peeling out from where its first, like its main head is. There's a third arm coming up from above the shoulder of its right arm. It has an extra set of legs, and it almost has, like, you can see, like, it looks like 3 torsos are, like, breaking out of the center of its body, giving it almost this, like, barrel-chested look. And it just is like, Brahm, it is on you. And as it's all over you, like, you hesitate to call it flesh, but whatever this thing is made out of is, like, sort of vaguely spongy, and it's sort of like, it almost feels like it's starting to, like, gloop over you. As it just, like,
This is where I get a symbiote.
is on top of you. Yeah, Brahm's gonna turn into Venom.
Brahm is
So
definitely
Fidget, you
more
were the first to react, as this creature is basically just, like, on top of Brahm. And it is moving in that same, like, stutter motion as the dog creature was outside.
Maybe we should not be using this teleportation circle.
Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost, roll hit.
Is that gonna hit me?
15.
A 15 will hit.
Thank God.
15 points of cold damage.
And it's dead.
Okay.
I want to be over here.
You punk.
So yeah, you strike into it. You see like part of its body seems to like crystallize as this ray of frost not only like coats over like the surface of it, it seems to like penetrate inside it as well. And one of the like that extra arm kind of like locks up for a moment. The end of it still continuing to like, but the shoulder joint has been like frozen solid. Anything else?
Bonus action.
You're also forgetting the...
Alright, it is its turn. Brahm, it is going to attack you again.
Protection.
Sure. So that enforces disadvantage on one or both of the two attacks. One of the attacks. Okay, so I'll take... let's re-roll... does a 16 hit?
I believe so.
Okay, and then I will re-roll this one, because it would have been two 16s, but instead it is a 16 and a 9.
Does not.
So one will hit you. You take an additional 4 points of bludgeoning damage. As it basically just like, it just starts like battering all over, trying to like pull you towards it. You can feel like that weird split chest cavity is starting to like press down into you. And it almost sort of starting to feel like it's like made of molasses and you're like trying to pull yourself free of it. So at this point you are considered grappled by it. And that is its turn. That's all it's going to do. And Brahm, it is your turn.
I'm gonna bestow that curse. Wisdom
So
saving
that
throw.
curse. Wisdom saving throw. Is there a stipulation that if it's like too stupid it can't?
It doesn't say so.
Okay. It gets a 7 on its wisdom save, so it definitely fails.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do the good old classic. It has to make the wisdom save to be able
Or do nothing.
Or do nothing.
Right. Cool.
And to like kick it off me is another action, right? So I can't.
Yes, to kick it off you would be an action, so it continues to like be on you.
All right, I'm gonna. That's it. I'm done.
Alrighty. Did I miss a joke involving Tim? Oh, Tim the Tool Man.
Yeah.
Chad is like,
I don't think so,
Tim
Tim.
gets the golden D20 next week. Sorry, Brahm. Okay, that brings us to Ula.
Alright, I'm going to attack with my hammer.
Okie dokie.
11 for the first.
No, that will not hit.
Oh, you have advantage. It's prone.
Oh, you do have advantage.
So what's that roll you just rolled?
18.
That'll hit.
And
So then make your second attack.
that's 17, and that is 24.
The 17 also would have hit, but yes. So you two both hit.
Okay. This one.
Whatever I should have done a disadvantage on attack rolls to me.
18.
18 points of damage?
Yep.
Okie dokie.
Mila just swept it off you with her hammer.
Or punched it farther into me.
What an excellent point.
You feel these sort of like you feel the two like reverberations of her strike through this thing's body as it like it's,
I thought it was
pounding
like
into you.
golf hitting.
Oh sure, I mean you do that too. So you sort of like golf smack it.
Is it hard enough for it to fling off me?
No. However, it does sort of like ratchet sideways. Those double heads are kind of like looking around, taking in everything in the room. Walter, it is your turn.
You're gonna try to Eldritch Blast it back into the darkness.
Okay.
Am I gonna go
So
with
you
you?
like, I guess move him that way.
The highest is a 16.
A 16 will hit.
The other one's an 11.
An 11 will not. He's trying to blast it back into the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to move him there.
That's
This is for us.
Yep.
So one of them will hit, and it'll move 10 feet, or maybe move 10 feet. And we'll take 1 point
Okay.
Awesome.
of force damage.
1 point of force damage is sort of like this cloud of dust comes off of it, and it hauls Brahm with it as it's pushed back through that doorway.
Bitch.
Helping!
This is just
Quick
Brahm and the no good, very bad, terrible, whatever the hell it is.
I'm just picturing as you're being said, fuck.
And the door slams shut behind you.
It does.
No, it does not. It is Alar's turn. You can still hear Brahm and this thing wrestling on the ground. Much like the dog, it's not actually making any noise, aside from just sort of the whack of it hitting the ground and the wall and Brahm. And there they are.
I'm moving into that room, and I'm gonna try Booming Blade.
Okay.
And I roll a crit.
Nice. Okay.
So, stabby damage is so that 10 points piercing. No, sorry, 12 points piercing. 8 points thunder, so 20, and sneak attack. 12, 18, so 38 points altogether.
Alrighty. You step forward and you drive your rapier down into this creature. And it goes limp. And Brahm, you are no longer being engulfed and grappled into it as it rolls off of you. Bits of ash and charcoal break off of it, crumble into the ground. And then, much like the dog, there is a second and a wave of pressure blasts off of it. It travels around corners. It pushes against all of you. And your vision, all of your vision blurs for a moment. You're standing in the same place as you were before. However, instead of appearing old and long abandoned, this chamber looks brand new. The lights are bright and warm. The floor and walls are clean. Those of you in the larger chamber, you see the teleportation ring on the ground. It glows with a faint illumination. Brahm, Alar, as you're kind of in the doorway, inside that smaller room, you now see that further in, there is a stone slab, basically 3.5 feet up, 5 feet long, coming up out of the ground. Above the stone slab is a glowing, complicated, three-dimensional series of images that are projected into the air with some form of illusion magic. A single figure stands in the room, tall, slender, and regal. A high elf. His hair is sleek, chestnut color, and he wears robes of immaculate teal and gold. He is looking into a projection of his own face, which is coming up off of the table. He doesn't take notice of either of you. Doesn't seem to see Brahm, you lying on the floor, Alar, you standing in the doorway. And then he opens his mouth and he begins to speak. However, you don't understand what he's saying.
Of course we don't. Damn it, I
He's
should
speaking in
Why is it
Barbarian.
as soon as I got rid of tongues, that's when we've needed it 17 times.
I should have spent the time and done the ritual, but that's my fault.
You have the potion.
I do, so I will quickly...
Sure. So, as you see him begin to speak, you fumble to get into your bag for that potion. You down it. He looks pensive at himself for a moment. As he starts to speak, you begin to fumble for that potion. And when you down it, After a moment, kind of a warmth washes through you, and all of a sudden you can understand his speech. You still hear the High Invarian spoken in the background, but the potion, the magic of the potion translated in your head. You hear, Silverleaf, your eminence. I am humble arcanist and research Vantis Wintermoon. I report to you now from the location of a newly established research outpost in the southern wilds. The geomancers are nearly finished with their work, and we expect to be on schedule to begin an extensive study on the site and the find. I am not one to overstate or aggrandize my work in hopes of currying favor, especially not to one as astute as your grace. So I will limit this initial report to only what is irrefutable fact, and allow you to draw your own conclusions about the significance of what we have discovered here. First, the find appears to be a vessel of some sort. It is of a similar form and size of a seafaring craft, such as a galleon. Second, it is old. Our findings are preliminary at this point, and as such, it is too early to place an exact dating on the craft, but I can safely say that the craft's presence in this cavern predates even the Empire's earliest history records. Third, its presence in this place is bizarre. By all geographical and geological records, no body of water large enough for a vessel of this size has ever crossed this region. It is as if the hand of a giant or a god simply plucked the craft up and threw it here. Some tectonic activity in the region explains a bit of how it came to have fallen quite so deep down, but how it got here in the first place is unknown. Your Grace, whatever this craft is, and however it got here, it may prove to be a discovery which unlocks henceforth unknown links to the past. I will report regularly on our findings. Your loyal subject. The elf looks into the image for a few more moments, seeming to evaluate his report, then bows and waves a hand through the air, and the image vanishes with a whoosh. As he turns from his desk, the air shimmers again, and the scene fades. You are once again standing in the research outpost in its current state, defunct and abandoned.
Holy shit!
Hey, Lord Braun, what you guys doing there? I don't understand. This place lit up like a Christmas tree out here, and then it went dim again. What happened?
I think I just saw an image of the past. Like, pre-fall of the Invarian Empire past.
Did you hit your head?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Too.
No.
Are you
Did
sure?
Braun hit your head?
No.
I thought I heard some noises in there, but I couldn't really tell.
You guys definitely heard the Invarian speech.
Oh, okay.
Though he's the only one who understood it as he downed the potion.
I repeat back everything I can remember of what he said. There's a ship down here?
What do you mean a ship?
A galleon-sized ship.
Vessel.
And by down here, I'm going to gesture towards the grate. I assume you mean down there?
I guess.
I mean, is there anything else in the room?
I blink a couple times. Go. Oh yeah. I look back inside.
You don't even need to make a check. Without just looking, it is like it's just an empty room, and there is like a cold, lifeless stone protrusion from the floor. You know, because you just saw it, that this was like his desk essentially, and it was like it was woven with enchantments that had a bunch of like illusory magic and projections that he was able to manipulate, but it is no longer active, and there's nothing else in that chamber.
So, what was the creature that attacked us?
I don't know.
Given how broken this place is, my guess is anything and nothing.
It's hard to
Remember,
be wrong with a guess like that.
remember the bird that we saw?
Yeah.
That it looked like a couple of birds squished together.
Mm-hmm.
And What did you guys see out here?
Everything was lit up and the teleportation circle was functional.
It looked clean. It looked like, people were here normally.
Yeah.
Everything. That's what this looked like in here.
Do you want to go downstairs?
What if... What if something went wrong with... Oh god, this sounds crazy, but... What if they were messing around with time? That's why that thing seems to move. Herky-jerky. That's why there's a couple of their arms.
I thought we just needed to bother the wizards to get a better frame rate.
Hold on, let me overclock.
I mean, does that looks like it was a bunch of skeletons mashed together?
No, it essentially looks like if you took a blank 3D model of a human form and built it out of crunchy charcoal, and then sprouted a bunch of additional copies of it off of it. That's what it looked like.
If there is time travel, are you sure we're supposed to be messing with this?
If not us, who?
Literally
Good
anyone
point.
else.
It's not like our benefactors are going to come out here. That's what they sent us for.
Yes.
Don't you think that time travel is a little bit above our pay grade?
Yeah.
Well, let's...
This will be very helpful when we get to our annual review.
We are going above and beyond and backwards in time and possibly forwards in time.
We possibly could skip right to that.
We could write our own review ahead of time and submit it, and we could be like, "Hey, check under the couch cushions. There's a secret box."
I'm just gonna stomp past them and head for the trapdoor.
Okay.
I guess we should coordinate having comprehend languages up all the time.
Yes, at least one person.
I
I currently have it.
I can burn those spells like it's nothing. So
Okay. I can also cast it as a ritual, so when mine ends, I can take
You have
it.
it for
We have
better
all
part
those
of another
potions.
hour. You have 9 more potions, each of which give you an hour of comprehend languages.
and I have auto translate active at all times. Which, if you want to have it give me out of character, if you want to have it give me madness, if in case there's some really messed up stuff I see.
If you come across anything messed up, we can get there. For in terms of Invari,
It's just-
when you come across the sign that's tells you where the bathroom is on level 2, you're probably not going to be too
4
worried
levels of
about that.
madness. I need to shank the next nearest person.
Okay.
I'm just gonna cast it.
Okay, that's fine.
The trapdoor, is it?
It looks very much like these other doors, where it's like a plate, but there's nothing powering it, so you're gonna have to force it.
Nola! Here, just keep plan C.
Hee. I have plan C. 16.
You successfully managed to pry open the hole in the floor. Essentially, that panel slides this way, leaving you with about a 10-foot long. You open it maybe 5 feet or so, kind of pushing, and you're able to look. And down below, it drops off. You can see from the the illumination coming from up on your level. It is dark down below. You see, it looks like it drops 15, maybe 20 feet down to
And
another level below.
Nothing's coming out in the text.
Nothing jumps out at you. No,
Is it lit?
it is not. It's dark.
Alright.
That illuminated bit of thing hanging off the ceiling. Does it look like it's?
It's essentially set into the wall. So if you imagine
Oh, okay.
It's crown
if you
molded.
imagine that was
Yeah.
inset into the wall and was glowing, it's like a light strip around.
Gotcha.
So
I was
the
gonna try shovel a piece off and see if it's still be a flashlight.
So the trapdoor is just dark.
Say what?
So the trapdoor is just dark.
Yeah.
Can I find a rock?
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, you can go grab one out of there.
I'm gonna cast light on it and drop it in the trapdoor.
You drop it down. The rock does fall about 20 feet, hits the ground, clack, 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 clack. Rolls a little bit out of your line of sight as you're looking straight down, but it is casting enough illumination to show you that there is essentially a straight shaft about 20 feet down, and then on the floor below, there is a matched to the same size as this opening. There is like a slightly raised portion of the floor, basically a 10 by 10 like tile. Next to it, there is much in the same way as the desk essentially seemed to be like a piece of stone that just like came up out of the floor. There was like a little pillar next to this this like square tile on the floor, but everything down there is dim.
Is there does that quartz you found, is it reacting to this room at all?
No.
Alright, I'll go down first.
Might be trapped.
Alright, I won't go down first.
That's the spirit.
Rob can go down quickly again.
I mean, I would say, just to save you the sake of the time, it's just an open hole in the ground with a shaft. Like,
Okay.
there's nothing to like.
Isn't there like ladder?
Alright, I'll
There's nothing
go
to
down.
see.
Alright, well, I will ask you to lower me down a bit so I don't have to drop 20 feet. I only have to drop maybe 10.
I'm leaving the python jammed door.
It's fine.
Those,
I managed not to face plant.
Okay.
Am I doing athletics to get down?
Sure, you can.
17.
superhero landing.
Yeah, you managed to make it down.
Fidget!
I'm gonna jump down in response to that.
Make an athletics check, both of you.
18.
20.
Okay. You both take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as you just jumped 20 feet onto her.
Thanks.
You get impaled with a horn.
Brom, do you still have any more rope?
Now
I don't
have
think so.
Anybody else have any rope?
I have rope.
Comes the chorus of responses from already down in the hole.
A mage hand holding a piece of rope like floats up and like is just floating about like 5 feet above the top of the
Mage
hole.
hand brings up a piece of rope.
I will grab the piece of rope
Okay.
and jump down.
Yeah, well the mage hand cannot handle that. You gotta...
Dude, make an athletics
No, he
check.
was grabbing the end of the rope, the top end of the rope, and just jumping down. I think that's what he was going for.
Fidget, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. As you just
Do I take another 16?
no, you just fail to catch him as he just.
I've got the rope!
The mage hand comes up. Fidget's like, hey, it's like a Looney Tune where he like suspends in the air for a second until he looks down and then he just falls.
Do I have tactile sensation when I'm with mage hand? Is that a thing? I don't remember. I know the rogue gets a special one.
I don't think so.
So like I just, as far as I'm aware, like my mage hand is still holding it because that's what I'm making it do, and then
Yeah, and then
the whole rope just with
just-
fidget.
Fidget hits the ground.
I cast Mage Hand. I lift the rope up, back up. Find something to tie it off up there.
I walk away from the hole.
Probably, are you the last one? Are you the last one up there again?
Did I?
Yeah,
it went
you are.
down. Oh.
Yeah, you're the last one up there. So there's a mage hand holding a bit of rope, and Alar is yelling out, "Find something to tie this off."
I'll tie it to something.
What are you gonna tie it to?
What's?
Probably the lid.
Where is there something to tie to?
It's not really.
God damn it!
Do you have a grappling hook or a piton or anything? Let's see. What do I got in my kit?
I have an idea.
Oh, that fills me with terror. Go
What's the
ahead.
ground made out of? Is it stone? Or is it
It's like a stone metal hybrid material.
Never mind, I don't have an idea.
Do you need me to catch you?
No.
How are we going to get back up?
Hold on.
I was gonna try staking a.
I mean, you could
Okay.
probably
Crowbar into the
throw
ground.
I'm gonna yell up. Just get the magic python out of the door.
No, wait. Stand back. I throw up a regular piton.
Oh.
Hammer it into the ground. Tie off the rope.
Is the ground made of the same material as the door?
I say, is it hammerable?
Good try.
All right.
The ground is not necessarily is definitely like a material. It's not the same material as like the walls are.
Similar but not the same.
Yeah. So make a strength check. You try and like pound that spike into the ground.
As a 5.
With your fists.
You miss and hit your thumb.
Do you want my hammer?
No. It's a 4.
You somehow hit the thumb of the hand wielding the hammer.
That's a 1. Oh my god! I'm just gonna go home.
You hit yourself in the head with the hammer, knock yourself out a little bit, and just fall in the hole. You take.
That's a 16, a 20, a 16, and a 6.
You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. You wake up on the ground below.
It does bring me a great deal of joy that hitting himself in the head and falling, he took less damage than I did.
Like, they just hear like a whole lot of like,
And finally, fuck.
Yet somehow,
It's just side
yet
note.
somehow, as you look up, the python with the rope does seem to be securely attached up above.
I'm gonna go.
This
Well done.
trapdoor,
Well done.
this 20-foot trapdoor has done more damage by far than the monster we initially fought.
I'm gonna go
That's true.
down the rope.
You're down.
Oh,
already.
okay.
You fell.
I thought that was just to get it in.
You El Kabonged yourself right down the shaft. Okay.
I'm going to pick up the lit rock as a torch.
So similar to the floor above, when you guys, when like your physical selves descend down there, this level lights up as well.
Oh, okay.
And the level that you are on
Well, I'm just gonna scoot it.
looks like this.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
just
here.
after 9. Do we?
We're
want
gonna
to-
take our
okay.
break right now. Yes.
Okay.
So you dropped down here to here, like that.
Yep.
I'm gonna rest my
I
hand.
was planning to like say we'll take our break as you guys were like going down to descend to the next level, but it became such a production that I was like, I guess we gotta see this through.
That was reminiscent of our test session where we all tried to swan dive down a manhole.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was a.
Yeah.
What do you mean? There's a paladin falling from the ceiling?
I have decided, by the way. So we're gonna take our break here for a minute. We're gonna be back in 5 minutes or so after everybody's refreshed their drinks and everything, and return for the last hour of our session as the party begins to explore level 2 of the Invarian Research Station. And I have decided that in addition to like, because I started titling these, like by mini adventure arc and then like whatever part it is. I have decided to go back to giving like unique episode titles in addition, just because I was looking back through old stuff and I really like. I came across it was like episode, I don't know, like 14 was called The Gang Gets Harpies.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn it, I really miss those. So we're gonna start naming these
This
again.
one's definitely, I don't think so, Tim.
So stick with us. We're going to be back just in a few minutes, and we're going to see what mysteries level 2 has in store for the party. Stick with us, and we'll be back in just a moment. Enjoy this word from our sponsors! Hey there, everyone. Matt Palmieri here, your host and Dungeon Master. Thank you for joining us for tonight's episode of Tabletop Legends. I hope that you're enjoying the show so far. I know I am. While myself and the rest of the gang are refilling our drinks, stretching our legs, and relieving ourselves of the pee that we've been holding in for the last 2 hours, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you about our sponsors here at Proficiency Bonus. First up is Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp are purveyors of fine gaming dice, as well as all sorts of other tabletop gaming goodies. They've got a huge selection of polyhedral dice you can choose from, and prices that you couldn't shake a stick at even if you had a +1 stick of shaking at your disposal. They recently released their line of Birthstone dice. They have new metal dice sets available, and they are constantly coming out with new products. If, unlike Becca, who we have to physically restrain from buying dice on stream once a week during our ad read, D&D dice are not your thing, they have definitely got some other cool stuff you can get your hands on. They've got spell cards, they've got gaming accessories, they have a whole bunch of other tabletop-style games that you can order right to your door. If you want to check them out, you can type !Little Dragon into the Twitch chat at any time for a quick link to their store. Or just go to your favorite web browsing apparatus, and you can go to www.littledragoncorp.com. And remember, if you do purchase anything, tell them we sent you. You can use the code BONUS at checkout for 10% off your order. If you'd like to buy, 11 sets of dice, it would be like one of them would be free. That's probably not how math works, but, I just don't think about it too hard. And, go check them out. LittleDragonCorp.com for all of your sweet dicey needs. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Marble Moon Studio in the 8th House. They are an independently owned, ethically sourced, witchy lifestyle and home goods shop. Their goal is to support small businesses and create a safe, inclusive space/community for witchy folks. They've got just a ton of super cool merchandise that you can order online, including the widely popular Tabletop Legends Magic AF D20 mug. But hey, it's just not all mugs over there. It's not just they're not an entire store filled with mugs. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with stores filled with mugs. If you're a mug store, I mean, that's a great business plan and good for you. And call me. We'll set up a sponsorship. But Marble Moon Studio in the 8th House, well, they've got way more than that. They've got all sorts of things. They've got wall art. They've got candles. They've got apparel. I mean, you don't need to listen to me just list off a bunch of random products off of their site. You can take a look at the sweet montage that I'm probably going to edit into the background of this audio. Better yet, just go to their website. You can look for yourself and not have me read it to you like an idiot. You can find them online at either marblemoonstudio.com or shopthe8thhouse.com. I've met both of the ladies who run this business in person. They're awesome. They're awesome people. You need to go buy things from them right now. Thank you, Marble Moon Studio and the 8th House, for supporting us and our silly Dungeons & Dragons mess around. We love you, and, hit me up about a cut of that sweet mug money. Hey, if you'd like to sponsor an episode of Tabletop Legends, maybe you want to give a shout out to your website, your business, or a podcast of your very own, you can do that. Send an email to tabletoplegendsdnd@gmail.com. That's tabletoplegendsd, the letter N, D, @gmail.com. And, it doesn't just have to be a business. Maybe you want to promote, maybe you just you're really good at kickflips and you want people to know that. You can do that. Maybe you have a friend and your friend watches the show and you want to hear me call him a dude-headed fart baby over the internet. We can do that. Send me an email. We'll work something out. Maybe you've been working up the courage to ask out the girl you like and you just can't bring yourself to do it. Why not pay a podcast host to do it for you? I don't see how it couldn't work. Send us a message at tabletoplegendsdnd@gmail.com and all of your dreams can come true, no matter how ridiculous they are. Anyway, that's all I've got from you. I have talked long enough. Please enjoy the ear candy, sweet sounds of our royalty-free background music for another few minutes or so until we return for the rest of our episode. Thank you. I love you. I didn't mean to say it, but there it is. Now it's out there. We have to deal with this now. We'll deal with it after the rest of the show. Hey there, everyone. Matt Palmieri here, your host and Dungeon Master. Thank you for joining us for tonight's episode of Tabletop Legends. I hope that you're enjoying the show so far. I know I am. While myself and the rest of the gang are refilling our drinks, stretching our legs, and relieving ourselves of the pee that we've been holding in for the last 2 hours, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you about our sponsors here at Proficiency Bonus. First up is Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp are purveyors of fine gaming dice, as well as all sorts of other tabletop gaming goodies. They've got a huge selection of polyhedral dice you can choose from, and prices that you couldn't shake a stick at even if you had a +1 stick of shaking at your disposal. They recently released their line of Birthstone dice. They have new metal dice sets available, and they are constantly coming out with new products. If, unlike Becca, who we have to physically restrain from buying dice on stream once a week during our ad read, D&D dice are not your thing, they have definitely got some other cool stuff you can get your hands on. They've got spell cards, they've got gaming accessories, they have a whole bunch of other tabletop style games that you can order right to your door. And if you want to check them out, you can type !Little Dragon into the Twitch chat at any time for a quick link to their store. Or just go to your favorite web browsing apparatus and you can go to www.littledragoncorp.com. And remember, if you do purchase anything, tell them we sent you. You can use the code BONUS at checkout for 10% off your order. If you'd like to buy, 11 sets of dice, it would be like one of them would be free. That's probably not how math works, but, don't think about it too hard. And, go check them out. LittleDragonCorp.com for all of your sweet, sweet dicey needs. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Marble Moon Studio in the 8th House. They are an independently owned, ethically sourced, witchy lifestyle and home goods shop. Their goal is to support small businesses and create a safe, inclusive space/community for witchy folks. They've got just a ton of super cool merchandise that you can order online, including the widely popular Tabletop Legends Magic AF D20 mug. But hey, it's just not all mugs over there. It's not just like they're not an entire store filled with mugs. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with stores filled with mugs. If you're a mug store, I mean, that's a great business plan and good for you. And call me. We'll set up a sponsorship. But Marble Moon Studio in the 8th House, well, they've got way more than that. They've got all sorts of things. They've got wall art. They've got candles. They've got apparel. I mean, you don't need to listen to me just like list off a bunch of random products off of their site. You can take a look at the sweet montage that I'm probably going to edit into the background of this audio. Better yet, just go to their website. You can look for yourself and not have me read it to you like an idiot. You can find them online at either marblemoonstudio.com or shopthe8thhouse.com. I've met both of the ladies who run this business in person. They're awesome. They're awesome people. You need to go buy them.
You ever play Grand Theft Auto with hackers on the server? That's pretty much the weather's been like this week.
Well, hopefully there's no hackers in tonight's the second half of Tabletop Legends. We're back! Boy howdy. So, thank you for sticking with us over the break. We are back. Everybody's drinks are refreshed and bladders are empty, and we are ready to roll as the party has reached level 2 of the Invarian Research Station. So, the drop below was roughly 20 feet, and somehow you guys managed to badly injure yourselves to a man on the way down, pretty much.
How do you mean? Oh my god.
There is that small sort of pillar just off to the side of the little raised platform you've landed on. You lean on it. It is just as lifeless and featureless as the desk up above was. You are at the top end of a long, gently downward sloping hallway. About 90 feet from the end, from end to end. So this is all illuminated so you can see. It's about 90 feet from end to end, and you can see 3 openings where chambers branch off from the main walk.
Okay, I head to the edge of the first chamber and...
What's everybody else doing?
I follow.
Okay.
I'm going to go... I'm not going to go any further ahead. I'm basically just going to follow along.
Okay. So you guys are staying just where you were?
We are going to watch Alar and or Nula trap all the traps and or do whatever they're doing, and then if they need backup, I will be able to assist.
All right. So as you guys get to that first opening and you turn in,
Yep.
there is a closed door leading to a chamber.
You already have it. At the moment, it's
You
yours.
have it. There is writing above the.
Since I have it going.
Does that potion allow you to read? Just to double check, because I didn't look at that.
What does the comprehend languages spell do?
Good question. Hang on a second.
Does anybody have comprehend?
That's what I'm testing, because this potion does the same thing. I have it pulled up.
Okay.
You have to physically touch the surface.
Okay. Then I will touch. I brush my hand over it.
Okay.
And then die from whatever trap goes off.
It reads personnel quarters.
This was a barracks.
Do you want me to open it?
Yes.
Okay. 14.
Okay.
Once they start looking like they're about to open the door, I'm gonna prepare to Eldritch Blast anything that comes out of it.
Okay. I mean, you can just see, like, you can't even see them at this point.
No. I'm gonna be looking at the floor.
Okay. You
Never
open the
mind.
floor. So, you guys, if this hallway is about 90 feet, you're about halfway down.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's move our main map aside. Put you guys here. So we will place you in this space, which will be 10, 20, 30, 45 ahead of where they are. Haha, like that. Let's move you over so that the audience can still see that. As you open the door to the chamber. What are you doing, Olive? Excuse me. Oh, okay. Yep, just pull my computer cable out while you're at it. Thank you. We'll do it this way. Since I think that's... that's what it's for.
Oh.
You open the door on a chamber that is roughly...
Damn, I thought you were bringing out like an entire bunch of minis again.
Schwa-sized.
Okay.
Are the dots part of
The
it?
dots are nothing.
Okay.
What isn't nothing, however, are the three creatures that now attack you. So, everybody can go ahead and roll me initiative. For those of you who stayed back, you will take a surprise round here.
Seems legit.
You open the door, and three more of those same smashed together, bizarre creatures stand inside the room. And as soon as Nula pries the door open, the three of them you see like whirl to face you and begin charging in your direction. So, initiatives 25 to 20.
21.
21. Alar. Let's roll those guys. Okay. 19 to 15.
Here we go, boys.
14 to 10.
14 again.
Also 14.
10 for me. Taking a nap over there.
Brom. Fidget. 10 is Walter. What do you got, Nula?
4.
I have never heard of somebody so consistently rolling well on initiative.
Well,
Even
Curtis.
negative initiative modifier.
Even with like
+1.
even with like the not so great initiative modifier, like how consistently you roll like single digits amazes me.
I mean,
Courtesy's
you hit a decent amount, so at least there's that.
Alrighty. Alar, you are the first to react.
I think I need to buy new dice.
No.
What a convenient segue because we are sponsored by.
What a coincidence. If you're looking for a 10% discount on your next dice roll because you can't roll higher than a 4 on initiative, Little Dragon Corp has got you covered. Little Dragon Corp. Type exclamation Little Dragon in the chat at any time to get a link to their website where you can buy some dice to replace the shameful garbage ones that you have now for ones that will hopefully treat you right the way you deserve to be treated.
You actually have to...
And enter the code PROBONUS at checkout for a 10%
You
discount.
have to type out the full thing, exclamation point.
Yes,
Dragon Corp.
good luck spelling it.
There's 11 L's and 1 Q. Figure it out where it is. Trial and error.
What was I doing? Alar, it's your turn. That's what I was doing.
Okay. I am going to stand in the doorway.
Yep.
I'm going to wait for the first one to come for me. Ready to get action to stab it and hopefully keep them in place.
Okay.
Or at least make them hurt themselves a bit more.
And it is their turn! Yay!
Okay.
All 3 of them rush you. So pick which one you want to stab. I guess that one gets to you first with the...
I managed to miss in the dog pile.
Oh boy.
So it's...
And you're too far away for me to protection.
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay. I chose this.
14.
Hits.
A 20.
Definitely hits.
And a 6.
That misses.
So you do get hit twice. You take...
I will try and uncanny dodge one of them.
Okay, so the first attack you take 4.
Okay.
So you'll burn your reaction, you'll take 2 on that one. The second attack you take an additional 4.
Okay.
So for a total of 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And you are currently grappled by these creatures. One of which uses the remainder of its movement speed to begin trying to drag you backwards into this room.
I have regrets!
So, let's see, it moves 5. I think it moved 10 to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, it can move back about another 10 feet.
Alright.
So go ahead and just move the middle guy and Alar 10 feet backwards into the chamber. Yep, just like that. Similar to Brahm, this thing has like multiple arms and limbs and torsos kind of peeling off of each other, and as it's like striking into you, these limbs are just like grabbing on, and it's beginning to like try and wrap you up and engulf you. And you feel yourself like sinking into this like slightly spongy, slightly crispy, charcoaly exterior of this creature.
Is it like a burnt marshmallow?
No, it's a little more solid than a burnt marshmallow.
No, these are not the peeps.
That's right. This is the
ghost
ghost of your
peeps.
This is the ghost of your peeps. Your peeps' atrocities coming back to haunt you. That is their turn. And that brings us to Brahm and Fidget, who are surprised. Walter, who's surprised, and Nula, it is your turn.
I'm going to step up here
Okay.
and attack this guy
All right.
in my face.
Roll to hit.
22.
Definitely hits.
9 damage.
All right. So you step into the room and you jab one of these with your hammer. That kind of like doubles over a little bit.
He's still standing.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, then I'm going to attack him again. 17.
Also hits.
10.
All right. Another 10 points of damage. So wham, wham, you strike into this thing. Besides, like, the physical reaction of it, like, recoiling against your hammer, doesn't really seem to take much mind of you, like, beating into it. As these, like, they're just, like, expressionless, emotionless. They have no faces. They just have, like, a blank, like, vaguely head-shaped protrusion above their shoulders.
Is that basically what the other ones did, too?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
And top of the order, Alar, it is your turn again. You are currently grappled.
I will use my primary action to attempt to escape the grapple.
Okie doke.
Can I use acrobatics?
No,
Or
I
is it
believe
just
it's a
strictly
straight strength.
Okay.
Straight
This is going to be
strength.
horrible. 11.
No, not going to be enough. Is it just like it's got like 3 arms holding onto you currently?
Okay. Then I got nothing.
Okay. Alrighty. It is their turn again.
And he's still too far for me to.
He is. You can use your reaction if you would like to take an attack of opportunity, as this one goes 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Out the door past you.
Alright. I will. 10.
A 10? No, not quite. So it just like, this one's a little like taller and lankier and thinner, and it just like sprints out of the room past you now that you've opened the door. Well, each of these two is going to make attacks against you guys.
I yell at the door, coming at ya!
You guys hear this like 3 seconds after creature comes running down the hallway. Alrighty. Ooh, I don't think either of those are gonna hit. Well, the 14 on you will hit, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then the other one is a 5, so that's not gonna hit. So you will take another 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As it just continues to like wail into you. Actually, I guess that one should dash, right?
If you want it to.
So it'll get to that square. As it's going to dash. No reason for it to do otherwise. So this thing silently is just like Terminator style running down the hallway straight for you guys.
I imagine it like glitch T-posing the entire way.
It is sort of like... It'll like... And then all of a sudden it's like... And like one of the legs is like... It's a little... Instead of this, it's much more like...
So terrifying, just differently so.
And it is Brahmin Fidget's turn. So this thing is like coming for you.
Do you have the same initiative again?
Yep.
Yes, they do.
Well, as a different person this time. I'm going to Ray Frost.
Okay.
15.
15 will hit.
So they don't look undead,
9
right?
points of cold
They do
damage.
9.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they like... they don't look like zombies.
I don't understand.
Oh, no! I don't
They don't look
understand.
like zombies. What don't you understand?
I had to turn that off to get it to work. Turn that on to get it to work with your car.
They don't look like zombies.
Give that.
It wouldn't have been like crazy for you to have been like, they kind of look like undead.
Yeah.
But you already know based on like something that she did that they're not.
Okay. And then I'm going to start with Tasha City's laughter at that one to hope he just like face plants while running.
He's now upside down and teleport walking towards
Wait,
us.
what did I do?
So he's going to make a wisdom saving throw.
He loses if that's successful. He loses reactions, and if he takes damage, he has to make the save again, or he just automatically kicked out of it.
He falls prone. And
He remakes the
he
save
remakes
on
the save,
taking
and yeah,
damage.
if he takes damage.
However,
I think he can make the save on his turn. And it doesn't matter because he made the save anyway.
well, certainly nothing happened. I can tell you that much.
Well. Alright. That's all I'm going to do.
Okay. Walter.
Eldritch Blast. Come on, double 20s. Does anybody have 2 zeros I can borrow?
You rolled 2 twos?
I rolled 2 2s for a total of 8 each.
2 misses. So maybe a combination of the like creepy flat silver lighting and the like
The disappointed
the like
side from-
flickering of this thing like not quite moving naturally down the hallway has unsettled you a bit, and you sort of hastily fire off 2 Eldritch Blasts which streak past it down the hallway, smashing into the walls.
Definitely,
Okay.
Move over to the corner, just in case.
Nula, you are up.
14?
14 will hit, yes.
Alright.
All 2 times.
10 for the first
10 points of
attack,
damage, okay.
and then 20 for the second.
Yep,
Not
that hits.
natural.
I didn't get that. Could you try?
I told you to turn off.
Damn you,
This is
Siri.
So much.
And 6 damage for the
6
second.
more? Okay. Anything else? Alrighty.
System
Wait,
32.
I'm gonna
Okay.
step there so that I can protection.
Alright.
Thank you.
Alar, you're up.
How's Ayla looking?
I'm okay. A little roughed up. This is actually the first real bit of damage I've taken.
The signet rings in my pocket jingle.
Yeah.
Oops.
Uh,
First status.
can I attack while grappled?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna try and stick this thing. 19.
19 will hit.
Alright, and I will cast Booming Blade and do 6 points piercing, 2 points thunder.
6 piercing, 2 thunder to that guy. Alrighty. So you basically just like shiv him in the ribs as he's like clobbering all over you with your rapier. The blade goes in. You feel the like the depth charge goes off inside its chest cavity. But it continues to just like glomp onto you. And if there's nothing else, that brings us to their turn.
Yep.
Okay.
Protection.
Yep.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so that'll make we'll do that one first. I'll make an attack at disadvantage against Alar, which lucky you, he instead of critting, he only gets a 7. I mean, he still hits. He gets a 17, but he doesn't crit.
I will take it.
As one of the arms like basically comes around to just like rock the side of your head, Nula like while fighting her own creature, just like interjects her shield and manages to like bang, clang it out of the way. He does connect with one of the other arms, however.
Uncanny dodge.
So you will take instead of taking 7, you will take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Then Nula, your one will attack you. Does a 20 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. You will take 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are now grappled.
Wonderful.
Which I do believe... Oh, no, doesn't prohibit you from using your defender ability. I wasn't sure if it burned your reaction. Okay, so you guys now both are like grabbed by these things. The third one there is going to sprint the rest of the way down the hallway there. Even with its reduced frostbite speed, it is still able to reach Brahm and make an attack against him. Oh, buddy. He does crit.
Hey, can we take that dice and throw it in the trash, please?
You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage and are grappled. As you find yourself again in a familiar situation, as one of these creatures just like launches itself onto you, like hugging its arms around you and trying to just like smother and pummel you to death.
I'm picturing this is exactly his face as it's doing it. It's just...
Why does this feel so familiar?
We get like a close zoom in shot towards Brahm's face. Is like you see the out of focus creature is like wah, 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 and everything goes quiet. And you just hear like all around me.
I was thinking it's more like the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
Okie dokie. So where was that? I guess so. So, that is their turn, which brings us to Brahm and Fidget. Brahm, you're currently grappled. Fidget, a creature has launched itself around the corner and suckerfished itself onto Brahm.
That's a 10 to stab it.
10 to stab it? 10 does not hit to stab it.
God damn it. I'm going to Bardic Inspire Fidget.
Okay.
After missing Arbor, like, Fidget, I have faith in you that you could please, for the love of God, stab this thing and get it off me.
Ray of Frost.
Okay.
23.
Yes, that hits.
9 points of cold damage.
Okay, 9 points of cold damage. Strikes into this thing.
I got you.
it was-
Also disengage. Dash. I'm headed this way.
So you sort of like feel the chill blast as the ray of frost hits the creature on top of you, and then you hear the quickly receding patter of goblin feet as Fidget runs away. Alrighty. Anything else with you guys? Just call your turn. Alrighty, Walter, you're up.
We are actually going to make a DC 14 con save.
Okay. It super fails.
It takes 6 points of frost damage, and it
Okay.
has disadvantage on its next attack.
Cool. Alrighty.
Next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Sure. Specifically, weapon attack A.
Tech.
I don't. I know. I think even with its arms,
it's
it
just
counts.
a weird phrasing. I think
Yeah.
it's
No, he'll have disadvantage for his next attack. Okay. Anything else?
It can't take reactions. Run away!
Probably you hear the pattering of receding feet of now Walter leaving you for dead.
We're not leaving him for dead. I'm just getting behind it.
Walter, I'm going to kill you.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
All right, Nula, you're up.
It's not a threat.
Are
You can
my
still attack.
attacks at disadvantage?
Nope.
Okay. That's an 11.
11 does not hit.
18.
18 does.
6 points of damage.
All right, which one are we attacking?
I've like not rolled higher than a goddamn 10.
Alrighty,
Make
so
it
you,
make saves.
you can't quite get a good angle with your hammer, and you eventually you end up flipping it around. You drop the head of it to the ground, and then you just shift your weight as this creature is onto you. In order to, you just basically throw its body onto the handle of your hammer with this sickening crunch as the hammer breaks into its rib cage. It's still latched onto you, but you kind of similar to the dog, you hear the sound of your hammer cracking the exterior of it into this hollow inside. Anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty, Alar, your turn. Protection! Nope, hang on.
I'm gonna try and stab the one that's on Nula since
Okay.
I can sneak attack that one.
Is Olive allowed on the piano?
She's not. What are you doing there, lady?
Hey, get down.
The coffee is not for you.
Get
Dogs
off
don't
it.
play piano.
Olive, play me some tunes. She actually knew that at one point. She'd play me some tunes, she'd go and go bang onto the piano. We haven't done it in years, though.
I'm pretty sure it's going to die because I just rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
Because
You don't even need to roll damage. It had 4 hit points left, so
Okay.
it's you basically just while fending off your own as it tries to mush its head into your face. You're and you just stab the one that Nula's grappling with, and Nula it breaks into several pieces and falls to the ground.
Why'd you take that one?
because now you can start welling away on the one here, and I can sneak attack that one. So it's more of a, you're free! Now help me! Ah!
All right, so it is their turn.
Protection.
Protection. At disadvantage, he rolls a 9, so he misses.
Thank you.
And he kind of comes back, and Mila just takes her shield and just. You just see the back of the shield comes down across your face as this thing tries to press its head into you.
Property of the Order of the Radiant. Oh, interesting.
And Brahm.
And my handwritten.
I don't think an 11 hits you.
No.
Okay, so it's trying to mash on you. You're keeping it at bay, pushing against it with your own strength. That's their turn. Brahm and Fidget, you are up.
I'm gonna touch it
Okay.
I'm already touching it, but
Yep. You
and
touch
I'm gonna
more.
bestow curse, and he has disadvantage on attack rolls to me.
Okay.
And that's is struggling to break free of the grapple is an action, right?
Trying to break free the grapple would be
So
an
then
action.
I will do nothing else.
Okay. So he will continue to have disadvantage.
I'm gonna run as far as I can towards this room.
Yep. You're in sight of the room at this point. It's like 10 feet of hallway and then the door.
Okay, so between my bonus action and normal movement, can I get to like there-ish?
Yeah, probably.
Alright, then I'm gonna Ray of Frost that guy.
Okay.
18.
That hits.
7 points of cold damage.
Alrighty. Alright. You strike into him with cold damage. He's still glopping onto Alar, though. And anything else with your guys' turns?
Nope.
Okay. Walter, you're up.
Another con save on the one that's.
It rolls a 6 this time, so it still fails.
9 points of frost damage, and it has disadvantage on its next attack. I'm helping. That's the one against, that's attached to the Brom at the moment.
No, I think I gave Fidget's damage to the wrong guy.
Well, that one had taken a couple of points of damage. I think I did.
No, I think we're okay. Never mind.
Okay.
Alright.
Helping.
You said 9?
9 points of frost damage, yes. Or cold damage.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm playing Skyrim again.
Alrighty. Okie dokie. Nula.
Alright. Sack. That's 12 to hit.
No, not quite.
17 hit.
That will hit.
10 damage.
Alrighty. 10 damage on that guy. Alright, so you wham into him with your hammer. But he's still resolutely attached to Alar. Alrighty, which brings us to Alar himself.
Keep on stabbing.
23 to hit,
Yes.
and because it's finally engaged, sneak attack. 7. Oh, wait, I did cast Bone Blade, so never mind. 10 points piercing and 12 points sneak attack, so 22 points.
Okay, it was 12 sneak attack.
Yep. And
All right. You rapier up into it, and the angle that it's at, you like very narrowly, like the rapier goes up and it comes out, and you're like, whoa! You very narrowly miss like stabbing yourself with your rapier as it comes out the other side of this creature. You're like, oh jeez! But it quickly just like stops gripping onto you, and you're able to just push it off, and it falls down to the ground motionless. Which makes it their turn. So there's only one left. He will attack Brahm
With
at disadvantage. The disadvantaged is a 15.
Son of a bitch.
Hit, yeah.
I'm trying.
You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Night, sweet prince.
You know, I should have just done the one I always do, but I wanted to mix it up. The curse I always do, but...
Alright, so it continues to like pummel onto Brahm on the ground in this this area here. And it is Brahm and Fidget's turn.
I'm just going to attempt to break the grapple.
Okay.
That doesn't count as an arm strike, does it?
No, it's just an action. It's a strength check.
Damn.
Ooh.
8.
You break free.
Oh, thank God!
Roll the 1. So you are no longer grappled. You push free from him. You are able to move if you wish to.
Is Vicious Mockery a bonus action?
I don't.
I don't think so.
It would
think it's
say
a
it's probably just an action.
I don't think so. Yeah, one action. Never mind.
It's a free action to insult it directly.
It's not going to do any damage, though. It might be a little sad.
Does emotional damage.
Emotional
yeah,
damage
I'm
is
not
deep and long.
going to do anything.
And lasting.
Okay. Alrighty. Fidget, what you got?
Sprint into the hallway again.
Yep.
Because he looks around, there's nothing else going on. We're going to try to Ray Frost that guy.
Okay.
20, not natural.
Yes, that will hit.
11 points of cold damage.
11 points of cold damage is the exact amount of cold damage required. As Brahm, you see this thing go and kind of like slumps into you, and you just like shove it to the side, and it falls to the ground, unmoving.
These things don't do
blast it in the back and push it towards
Oh
Brahm again.
boy, do they.
Oh, crap.
And I helped.
We did it.
So, as you defeat the last of these creatures, as Fidget blasts the last creature in the hallway, there again is the sort of like off of the creatures. That similar wave of pressure overtakes all of you. Your guys' vision blur. You get a little sense of like vertigo for a second, and then suddenly you are standing in a brand spanking new version of this same level. Brahm, Walter, Fidget, you guys see this hallway. Unlike the up above when this happened, where it was like immaculate, pristine, it looks a little bit more lived in down here now. So like there's a little bit of scuffing on the floor. You actually see a couple of elves in these. I don't remember if you guys saw the robes of the guys upstairs. They're wearing similar robes, similar design to the person that you had seen upstairs. Just like kind of walking up and down the hallway. In there, so Alar and Nula. Fidget, you can sort of see into this as well and probably hear. Nula, I don't think you understand what's about to happen, though the two of you can. You find yourself. This is a bunkhouse, as you had read above the door. There's alcoves along the walls of this that are lined with plush coverings and contain cushions for individuals to either lay down or sit within. There are fine tapestries draped from the ceiling and the walls, a number of vivid colors on display. There are rugs and furniture in the space. Clearly, it has been made to be more comfortable by the Invari working and researching here. There are several elves in the chamber currently, as you are in here. A group of 3 of them are having a conversation. They're all wearing those same colored robes. The 3 of them are sitting around a table, 2 men and a woman. One of the men speaks and he says, "Have you heard? Researcher Wintermoon requisitioned a chronomancer be sent down here." The woman says, "Did he really? I suppose he intends to have them establish a temporal tunnel." The 3rd man says, "I see no other reason he would bring that type of specialist on. God knows we've not been able to... gods know, this is D&D, remember? Gods know we've not been able to pass anything of value on the vessel thus far, or even get inside the parts that weren't torn open when it fell down here. If they can peer back to a point in its temporal position where it was operational, perhaps we can figure out how to replicate whatever spell work went into operating the hatches." And the woman says, "So strange to think that a vessel of that size is a piece of magitech, and yet it's been completely incompatible with spectral attuned power conversions. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Who built it? When? What was their arcana and technology that it's so different from our own that spirit infusion wasn't even around?" And the first male says, And the echo of the past fades, and you are once again standing in the abandoned research facility.
Hey, Aylar, I heard more gibberish again. You hear anything?
Hey, Laura, what was that?
Hey, Fidget, do you know what happened?
Do you need me to lay on hands, you?
You work in trade, right?
Yes.
You know how every couple of months they reorganize and they have a whole bunch of new buzzwords for what their new strategy is?
Yes.
That's what it was like.
I'm terribly amused that there's a goblin who lived out in Honoran who's actually using terms like buzzwords.
I cure wounds on myself at 4th level.
Okay. Chronomancy?
They said Magitech and Spirit Infusion.
Chronomancy.
I've never heard of either of those things.
Neither have I.
Sounds like
Time magic?
magic.
What?
Did Aylar see something different? Because he seems to be losing his rocker.
You heard that too, right?
Yeah.
They said chronomancer?
Yeah.
Time magic.
Yeah.
I love the idea that, like, Aylar's clearly freaking out and Fidget's just like...
You sure that he said chronomancer and not chronicmancer and they're growing some dope weed down here?
I'm 99% sure.
Okay, because...
Hey man, Researcher Wintermoon is the shit,
Because-
man.
Time magic is cool, but we could also probably make a ton of money selling weed.
Upon hearing that, Walter makes
I
a lot more.
I look at him gruffly for a moment, and then I get a thoughtful expression. I'm mad at you. At the same time, you are very much right.
Is there
On the other
anything-
hand, think about how much we could make if we could sell time.
That's. I don't even want to think about that right now. I do want to.
Are you sure you haven't been smoking the supply? With that
I would
idea?
like to investigate the barracks.
Sure.
I am going to furiously scribble some notes down in my notebook about time magic and pre-Invarian note-taking.
Yeah, whatever that. As I'm looking through, whatever that vessel, that ship is,
Probably
it's
not
more
theirs.
advanced than their magic.
Advanced or different? Says the
They
person who
they
did-
couldn't understand it. Their
That just means
magic's.
That just means it's different.
It could also mean more advanced.
13 for helping him look in the barracks.
Investigation 22.
Yeah, there's nothing of interest to find in this chamber at this point. It's it's a long abandoned ruin.
Oh, I bet those three wish they could be here now. Oh my gods.
Onward and downward.
How many more of those cloaked guys did we see in the hallways?
When you guys were out there, 2 or 3 wandering around.
I'm gonna yell heads up. There might be more behind these doors.
All right. I saw 3 of them in here, which might correspond to the 3 that were in here. Okay.
Where's the map of the one we're at? So
This is the room you're in.
So we have.
So you're in there.
I'm gonna look up and see like what is written on the top. Is the what is it, personnel quarters? It says.
Same as he saw. It said it was. I lost where it was. I think it said like researcher quarters. I forget where I have. I can't find where I have it written down.
More furious scribbling of what was it? Magitech, vessel, spirit infusion, chronoman. Holy.
I have much more stunted notes than you have since you were able to hear it. But yeah, I'm basically noting whatever nonsense comes out of your mouth at this point.
Holy crap! This is amazing.
I'm gonna go to the next thing down and peek around. If there's a door, I'm gonna see if there's any.
There is not a door on that one.
Is there any writing like up above?
Yes, you see writing which you
Fire
can
exit.
read is saying. You see it says research area.
All right, research area it is.
Is there another hallway? You want to check what that one says?
I don't really want to go. I'm like, I imagine I'm like at the corner here, like not like exposing myself to whatever. So.
Yeah, so there's like a short hallway. That is just an open doorway. The doors on that have not like slammed shut, and you can see it says research area above it.
I'm gonna weight ALR down and see if he can peek in first.
I will practically run over because at this point it's just. This is amazing. Research. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Gotta be careful. I'm gonna peer. It's just an open.
You can see in because it's lit. There appears to be a number of those, like just how you saw the head researcher's desk. There's like a number of tables like that inside this chamber. They are all lifeless and blank, from what you can see.
All right. I'm gonna try something. I don't think it's gonna work. There's a small possibility of something bad happening.
Wait. Put my hand on him. I'm gonna cast Death Ward.
Okay.
Thanks. What did you do? Besides, the of support.
But we believe in you.
If you die, you won't. Once.
Oh, thanks. I'm gonna head over to one of the desks. I'm going to attempt to cast a minor illusion into it to see if it, I had to try and jumpstart it for a better idea.
No, it doesn't do anything.
Stick the rock in.
There's nowhere to stick the rock. Oh. You can put the rock on it.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought it sounded like he was putting his hand into something.
Yeah, I figured I'd try a burst of magic energy to see if it might do something, but no, that would have been too easy. Alright, I will investigate the room, see if there's anything. 15 plus 23.
This chamber is empty and featureless. Anything that may have been on these tables at any point is long since disintegrated to time.
You know what? They're gonna be a while in there. Can I go in this other one? I'm bored.
Okay.
Right. So as you guys are poking around in the research room, you guys head down to that other one. And you find another hatch leading down.
So they're here?
Right? I assume that's where you were walking, right?
Yeah.
Yep. You find another hatch that leads down to a further deep level.
And this is the research room?
Yes.
And that was where those
That's the bunk room, yes.
Open it.
I'm gonna help. 10.
Nula sticks the pry bar into the grate, pushes against it, preparing to open it, and that's where we'll end tonight's section. So, go ahead and pass those around. Fire comes out!
Yeah.
If you're still with us, thank you for joining us for tonight. Thank you, Fairy Bitmother came in and gave us some bits earlier.
Oh, I just Fairy Bitmother?
Fairy Bitmother stopped by, yes.
She got real mad because I may or may not have dumped a ton of bits at some point, and she's like, "You took my record." I'm like, "All right, well, I was being supportive."
There's one more.
So, if you are still with us at home, if you would like to cast a vote, we're doing two things. We're doing, as always, the vote for the Golden D20. Anybody who did something particularly awesome, funny, memorable, super interesting, deserving of being awarded with a free natural 20 for next week's session. You can cast your votes in chat. In the event of a tiebreaker, we take chat into consideration. You can also do a new thing this week, which I have asked them to do, and maybe they remembered and maybe they didn't. We're going back to fun episode titles. So if you have episode title recommendations, I'm taking those from the party as well. And whatever episode title name we like the best based on whatever shenanigans we got up to, that's what the episode will be named when it goes up on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, find us on YouTube at Tabletop Legends. Please subscribe there and click for notifications to get reminded when we put our past episodes up. I am, just doing my damn best to keep them on a roughly regular schedule after we upload. Thank you.
We have 4 subscribers.
Yeah, we do. We do have more than that.
I'm kidding.
I was going to say.
It's a joke about there's 6 people in this room right now.
Is that everybody's?
I think that is, yeah.
Okay.
I roll high. Finally.
Alrighty. Nula, for good door opening. And then the vote for the episode title is I don't think so, Brahm. We have Brahm for being the tank.
Fuck you.
We have I think this is both a vote for a person and an episode title. Not quite, Brahm.
Similar to I don't think so, Brahm.
We have Fidget for Goblin Tactics, and then the episode title Breaking Brahm. That goes there. And we have Alar for being so happy about backstory, and the gravity hurts is the.
So was that like a three-way tie?
No, you are the only one who got 2 votes.
Oh.
So Brahm will have the golden D20 for next week, and
Great.
we will figure out from our options here what we want our episode title to be. And now we have a tie. Fidget gets a vote from chat for jumping without a rope.
To be fair, he definitely had the rope.
He had the
That's
rope.
true. That is true.
Invalid vote.
No, it'll be a valid vote. I'm gonna still break the tie in favor of Brahm, who got his ass beat so hard in tonight's session that I feel like he deserves a consolation prize of a D20.
Maybe I'll be able to use
week.
it to open a door next week.
Alrighty, so thank you for sticking with us for tonight's episode. We will see you next Tuesday right here on Proficiency Bonuses Twitch channel for level 3. Yes, for level 3 of the Invarian Research Station. What?
Leave a note to make sure you have a death ward.
Oh, thank you.
What horrors await within? Will Alar use his death ward? All I know is that when coming across a very, very simple 20-foot drop, just maybe tie the rope to something first. And
I tried.
And don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. Good night, everybody.
Didn't help me.